Chapter 6:12. You call this a small accident? All the elites were speechless. Jun Xiaoyao's move had stunned everyone. Some elites even thought that today's gathering would turn into a slaughterhouse. Elder Wang of the Business Alliance of 10,000 Races wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. For some reason, he vaguely felt that, if Jun Xiaoyao were to really go on a killing spree, there was a chance that he, the King of Saints, would not be able to hold him back. It was his intuition. But if word got out, everyone would be surprised. The difference between a sage and a sage king was huge. Everyone, don't look like that. Relax. I, the Son of God, am not a demon. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. When the crowd heard this, they all cursed silently. You are indeed not a demon. You are the Grim Reaper. Son of God of the Jun family, this way please. There is an independent VIP room on the second floor. Elder Wang stepped forward and said pleasantly. Looking at Elder Wang's expression, all the elites sighed inwardly. If it were other elites who caused trouble in the Business Alliance of 10,000 Races, they would have been kicked out by this elder. If they killed someone, the situation would be even more serious. The Business Alliance of 10,000 Races might even punish them. But now? Jun Xiaoyao was fine. Not only did the Business Alliance of 10,000 Races not dare to hold Jun Xiaoyao responsible, but they also invited him to the VIP room on the second floor respectfully. What was power? This was power. Then, Jun Xiaoyao and the others were also invited to the VIP room by Elder Wang. Tisk tsk. The VIP room is a place where even the rich can't go, Qian Duokai, the young master of the Celestial Treasure sect, sighed. The VIP room was only available to the esteemed guests of the Business Alliance of 10,000 Races. Tycoons like Qian Duokai couldn't enjoy it even if they were rich. As for Hu Qingqing, she bit her lips tightly, her face full of unwillingness. If she had met Jun Xiaoyao first, she might have been able to rope him in. But now, they had already formed a grudge. Hu Qingqing could only place all her hopes on Emojinyu. Thinking of the young Holy Spirit who was invincible among his peers, Hu Qingqing's emotions calmed down a little. On the other side, in the VIP room, there were a total of 18 young women who were ready to serve him. All of them had fair skin, beautiful features, and long legs. Some were as beautiful as fairies, some were as noble as empresses, and some were as alluring as enchantresses. Most importantly, they were the holy maidens of some forces or the royal princesses of some ancient dynasties. Although his strength wasn't on the level of a great genius, he still wasn't considered weak on the ancient road of the ultimate path. These outstanding saintesses and princesses were actually serving as maids and maids here? It could be seen that this VIP room was of a very high level. However, before Jun Xiaoyao could say anything, Fairy Maiden Yuan said calmly, "Is it enough for me to serve Lord Son of God? You can leave now." Yes, hearing this? Then, they looked at Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face again. Although the women present were reluctant to accept the outcome, they were still unable to accept it. But they could only leave. Jun Xiaoyao's expression changed slightly. "You're chasing them away just like that? I don't think Lord Son of God is interested in these common women, right?" Fairy Maiden Yuan smiled sweetly. A charming smile appeared on her exquisite features. "Indeed, but I don't need you to make the decision for me," Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. "I think it's enough for Lord Son of God to have me serve you." Fairy Maiden Yuan showed a pitiful expression. "Don't forget that we're just partners," Jun Xiaoyao said. Fairy Maiden Yuan nodded slightly. A hint of sadness flashed in her eyes. As expected, no matter what the situation was she always a target to be used? After that, the trade fair officially began. It had to be said that all the sky prides of the 9 Emperor Roads were gathered in one place. The various treasures they had collected? A dazzling array of treasures? It was enough to dazzle one's eyes. All kinds of sage pills and divine medicines? Extraordinary weapons? Innumerable ancient artifacts? Each of them had a great background. Would ordinary sky prides be dazzled by all these treasures? They were extremely excited. However, to Jun Xiaoyao, who had seen the world since he was young, it was just so. At Jun Xiaoyao's level, it was difficult to move him unless it was a true treasure. The next item to be traded is a rare chaos source crystal. It's excellent for cultivation or refining divine armaments and dharma treasures. As Elder Wang spoke, he took out a few chaos source crystals. It was a dark-colored crystal. There seemed to be a chaotic mist rolling inside the crystal. That was chaos chi. Like myriad chi, it was the rarest energy substance in the world. The value of these chaos source crystals was equivalent to the entire wealth of some sky prides. Chaos source crystals. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes showed a hint of interest. He did not forget that he still had the second half of the body scripture to cultivate. If he wanted to cultivate the second half of the body scripture, he would need all kinds of rare energy to expand the 3,000 summer worlds in his body. Previously, Jun Xiaoyao was prepared to cultivate with myriad chi when he was free. Now that he saw the chaos source crystals, he could absorb the chaos chi within to aid his cultivation. Soon, the chaos source crystals were auctioned off. I bid 100 immortal essences. Thunderquake Sect's junior sect master, Lei Zhen, shouted. Immortal essences were more precious than immortal essences. Only in places like the ultimate ancient road would there be more of them. I bid 200. Sky Treasure Sect's young master, Qian Duokai, shouted lazily. Lei Zhen glanced at Qian Duokai and his eyes twitched. No one present could compete with Qian Duokai in terms of wealth. At that moment, a charming voice sounded from the VIP room on the second floor. My son of God wants 500 immortal essences. The voice came from Fairy Yuan. Qian Duotsai's face twitched when he heard that. He was confident that he could crush the others present with money. However, he did not have the confidence to face Jun Xiaoyao. In the end, no one dared to compete with Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao successfully obtained the Chaos Source crystals. Jun Xiaoyao was still a little dispirited about the following deals. After a few more rounds of auction, Elder Wang, the sage of the business alliance of 10,000 races, suddenly revealed a strange smile. He said, Everyone, the next item to be auctioned should be of great interest to all the male cultivators present. It's here, it's here. It's here for the fun part. The Thunderquake Sect's junior sect master, Qian Duokai, and the others' eyes lit up slightly. This was the main event. A cage was pushed up and the curtain was opened. Inside was a leopard girl with a strong and healthy figure. There were many strange races on the ultimate ancient road, such as the Naga tribe, the leopard tribe, the centaurs, and so on. These races were scattered across the ancient planets along the way. Many of them were women of different races, and they were all very popular female slaves. The ancient road was long, and one needed to be comforted occasionally. These female slaves of different races were naturally very popular. I'll take it. A male cultivator began to bid. Jun Xiaoyao only glanced at her indifferently before looking away. Soon, the leopard lady was bought by a male cultivator with a faint look on his face. Next were a few female slaves of different races. There were bird men, beast women, and even an octopus woman with tentacles all over her body. However, the octopus woman was bought by a female cultivator with a flushed face. Everyone, the next female slave of different races is not ordinary. I heard from the person who captured her that she is the princess of that race. Elder Wang's words immediately attracted the attention of the male cultivators present. Just the identity of the princess of a different race alone made many of the male cultivators present excited. An iron cage was pushed up and the curtain was opened. Everyone immediately looked over. Chapter 6:13. Inside the cage was a young girl from the Naga tribe. She was about 13 or 14 years old, and had an exquisite oval face the size of a palm. She looked like a porcelain doll. However, compared to her youthful face, her figure didn't match with his. She had developed a little too early and was more mature. Those surging waves would probably make many adult women secretly envious and jealous. Below the young girl was a green snake tail. Its scales were as shiny as jade, like a piece of art. At this moment, the young serpent woman was curling her snake tail. She wanted to force herself to be fierce, but she was not confident enough. Her green eyes were filled with fear. After all, she had grown up under the care of the serpent woman queen. Because she was curious about the outside world, she secretly ran out of the ancestral land. In the end, she was caught by a passing prodigy. She was sold to this place. At the thought of being sold to others as a slave, the young serpent woman could not help but tremble. She could no longer pretend to be fierce. The young serpent woman's appearance instantly made the eyes of many male cultivators present light up. That childlike face, that bosom, that snake tail, that expression, wonderful serpent woman. Jun Xiaoyao also sized up the young serpent woman. His eyes were calm. He remembered that the Temple of Doom seemed to be on the ancient planet where the serpent men lived. On the stage, the sage king elder cleared his throat and said, "Everyone, I don't need to introduce the serpent woman. Those who have used her before will understand." Hearing this, many prodigies cursed silently. He was a sage king, yet he was so disrespectful. Of course, when it came to matters between men and women, not to mention sage kings, even primes were not exempt, unless they cultivated the legendary sunflower manual that cut off their desires. However, this person's identity is not ordinary. She seems to be related to the serpent woman's sacred leader, Queen Medusa. Guests who are not confident should be more cautious. These words made many prodigies who were eager to try calm down. The serpent men were not a powerful race that could not be provoked. However, no one wanted to be targeted by a sacred leader. Although there were human enforcers patrolling the ancient road, there was no guarantee that they would be assassinated by other races. Without some confidence, he would not have dared to bid for this Naga princess. "I bid 300 immortal essences," Qian Duokai from Heavenly Treasure Sect said. 400. The young master of the Thunderclaps sect gritted his teeth and said. Following that, some of the Sky Prides who were not afraid of the Serpent Men also began to bid for the princess. The atmosphere was even more lively than the previous auction treasures. He had no choice. He was a man after all. Looking at these male cultivators whose eyes were shining like hungry wolves, the young serpent woman hugged her snake tail with her delicate arms and whimpered softly. "Mother!" Suddenly, a charming voice sounded. "I bid 500 immortal essences." The person who spoke? It was Hu Qingqing. Why does Hu Qingqing want to film this young serpent woman? Could it be that you want to train him personally? Many people were surprised. And in the private room on the second floor? Jun Xiaoyao's gaze was fixed on the young serpent woman. His keen consciousness and probing ability detected that the bloodline of this Naga girl was somewhat unusual. Could it be that she is that divine lord? Queen Medusa's daughter? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Beside him, Heavenly Maiden Yuan said, "Lord Son of God? We must bid for this girl. She may be of help to our trip to the Temple of Doom." Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. He knew too? Then why did Hu Qingqing bid for this young serpent woman? It was probably because of the Temple of Doom. Under Jun Xiaoyao's signal, Lu Renjia began to bid. 800 immortal essences. The son of God of the Jun family is going to bid again. Isn't it enough to have a beautiful heavenly maiden Yuan? Does he want to play with a dragon and 2 phoenixes? He has the sacred body of the ancients. Can't we compare? Can't compare. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao bid, many Sky Prides shook their heads regretfully. First, because they were afraid. They didn't want to compete with Jun Xiaoyao. Second, because they knew, even if they wanted to compete, they definitely couldn't win. Jun Xiaoyao's background? It was enough to hang Qian Duokai and beat him. Damn it! Hu Qingqing took a deep breath, her chest rising and falling. As long as Jun Xiaoyao was there, she would definitely lose. Seeing this scene, Saint King Elder shook his head with a wry smile. As soon as Jun Xiaoyao opened his mouth, no one else dared to compete with him. The young serpent woman in the cage? Seeing this scene, she was extremely nervous. What kind of status did the person who bid for her have? No one in the audience dared to compete with him. In the young girl's mind, she immediately painted the image of a fiendish demon. Only such a person would cause others to be afraid. In the end, the young serpent woman was unsurprisingly won by Jun Xiaoyao. Everyone, the next few items are the highlight of this auction. Saint King Elder's tone became a little more serious. Everyone held their breaths and waited. The first item that was brought up was a supreme artifact. It looked like a demon-subduing rod. A supreme artifact was not something that could be found on the street. Moreover, this supreme artifact was obviously very ancient and had the potential to transform. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at it and looked away. He was not interested. In the end, the demon-subduing rod was won by Qian Duokai at a high price. Next, the second rare item was brought up. It was a jade bottle. Saint King Elder opened the seal of the jade bottle. In an instant, immortal light shone, spiritual energy overflowed, and runes imprinted in the void. Everyone who smelled it felt like they were about to ascend to immortality. Immortal pill fragment. Everyone's eyes lit up. Anything related to immortals was precious beyond measure. Immortal artifacts, immortal sutras, immortal fetuses, immortal blood, and so on. The item in the jade bottle should be the extremely precious immortal pill fragment. Someone is actually willing to put this item up for auction? Someone asked suspiciously. That's normal. Although the immortal pill fragment is good, it depends on whether it can be absorbed. Those who are not qualified to refine it will only explode and die, someone explained. Next, the immortal pill fragment was auctioned off by everyone. I bid 500 immortal essences. I bid 700. I bid 1,000. At this time, Lu Renjia's voice was heard from Jun Xiaoyao's private room again. 2,000 immortal essences. It had to be said that this had indeed stunned many people. Some of the geniuses also showed signs of struggle. They did not dare to compete with Jun Xiaoyao for what he wanted. Qian Duokai stood up and cupped his hands at Jun Xiaoyao's private room, saying, I'm quite interested in the shard of the divine pill as well. I apologize for offending you, divine child. After that, Qian Duokai bid 3,000 immortal essences. This move made many people look at Qian Duokai in a new light. This way, not only would he not offend Jun Xiaoyao, but he could also reasonably compete for what he wanted. In the private room, Jun Xiaoyao chuckled and did not care. He called Lu Renjia over and whispered something in his ear. Lu Renjia immediately sucked in a breath of cold air, sucking in all the cold air in the private room. Young master, luxury is a crime. Jun Xiaoyao's generosity shocked Lu Renjia. Go ahead. Jun Xiaoyao did not care. Then, Lu Renjia's slightly trembling voice was heard. My young master bid 5 seals of doctrine. Chapter 6:14. Lu Renjia's words silenced the entire treasure tower. Not to mention the others, even the nouveau riche Qian Duokai was stunned. He subconsciously asked, what is he talking about? I think it's 5 seals of proving doctrine. Some of the geniuses gulped. Their throats were dry. After a brief moment of stupor, a clamor broke through the sky. Oh my God, the seals of proving doctrine! Isn't that what I've been dreaming of? If I could integrate a few seals of proving doctrine, I would have been on the list of giants. By the way, I heard that the son of God of the Jun family does have a lot of seals of proving doctrine. He doesn't need them, so he gives them to the people around him. He's rich. He's not just any rich. I'm impressed. All kinds of noises, exclamations, and astonishment could be heard. Even the elder of the business alliance of the 10,000 clans, who was used to seeing the world, was slightly stunned. He then shook his head with a wry smile. This young man doesn't care about martial ethic. How can others compete with him? I've lost. This is the first time I've lost to someone in terms of wealth. Qian Duokai slumped into a chair. No amount of immortal essence was as precious as the seals of proving doctrine. Those are the seals of proving doctrine. If I could get them. Hu Qingqing continued to gnash her teeth. Her heart was filled with jealousy and hatred. She was jealous because Tian Nyu Yuan made the first move and pulled Jun Xiaoyao to her side. She hated that Jun Xiaoyao did not have any feelings for her. Although she was a little seductive and a little wild, she was still a beautiful woman. Why did Jun Xiaoyao not like her and humiliate her? Hu Qingqing was like a resentful woman in her room. Her heart was filled with resentment. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao successfully obtained the immortal pill fragment. With that thing in hand, Jun Xiaoyao would be able to condense divine qi again in a short amount of time. Everyone, there's one last treasure, the elder of the Saint King said, but his tone was hesitant. He looked hesitantly at the VIP box on the second floor, but he gritted his teeth and took it out. It was a transparent bottle. Inside the bottle were 5 or 6 drops of blood essence with a tinge of gold. They were jumping around. This blood essence? They were incompatible with each other, like blood agate plated with a layer of gold leaf, extremely resplendent. Even if they were separated by a bottle? Even the sky prides present could feel it? The vigorous power that was contained within it. The blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients. For a moment, all of the clamor stopped. If it was under normal circumstances, the appearance of the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients would definitely attract a lot of attention. Countless people fought to get it. That was because the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients was too precious. Although it was impossible to directly transform into the sacred body of the ancients, it could still cleanse and refine one's body, making one's physical body unparalleled. If he were to refine enough of the sacred body of the ancients, he could even manifest part of the power of the sacred body of the ancients. Did Jun Xiaoyao use the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients? It nourished Jiang Shengyi's delicate body. Not only did it heal her injuries, but it also healed her hidden injuries. It had even improved her physique by a large margin. It made up for the weakness of the natural embryo of Tao. Could it be said? The sacred body of the ancients was indeed the flesh of Tang Sanzang. But now? The blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients was right in front of him. No one dared to be the first to make a bid. Why? Because there was a living sacred body of the ancients present, and it was an existence that no one dared to provoke. In the VIP box, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold. The blood in his body was faintly burning. Did he encounter a bloodline of the same origin? It caused a reaction. Of course, those few drops of blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients could not be compared to Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancients. Jun Xiaoyao had a sacred body of the ancients that broke 10 shackles. He was born with no shackles. The owner of the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients was obviously far from Jun Xiaoyao's level. It might even be difficult for him to cultivate the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients. On the stage, Elder Wang wanted to say something. The door of the box on the second floor was pushed open. Jun Xiaoyao stepped down with his hands behind his back. An aura of dignity covered the entire place. Son of God, this. Elder Wang wanted to say something but stopped. Get out of the way, Jun Xiaoyao said coldly and took the bottle in his hand. In an instant, the few drops of blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients in the bottle reacted. They jumped violently and rubbed against Jun Xiaoyao's palm against the body of the bottle. It felt as if he had seen the king of the sacred body lineage. Jun Xiaoyao closed his eyes slightly. It was as if he could see an ancient and desolate planet in the depths of the ancient road. The dilapidated temple and the dilapidated mountain gate seemed to be telling of the past glory. The sacred palace of the ancients. For some reason, Jun Xiaoyao uttered these words. He suddenly remembered that when Jun Xiaoyao wanted to create his own great path in the lower world, the divine tribulation descended. It was the sacred body of the fallen that had protected him. Before the sacred body of the fallen was annihilated, he had told Jun Xiaoyao. The sacred body lineage depended on him. Remember, go to the sacred palace of the ancient. At that time, Jun Xiaoyao didn't understand the meaning of the sacred body of the fallen's words, nor did he know where the sacred palace of the ancients was. Now that he thought about it, Jun Xiaoyao finally understood. He didn't expect the sacred body of the fallen to know that Jun Xiaoyao would one day embark on the ultimate ancient road and go to the sacred body ancient planet. Divine Son. Elder King, who was standing at the side, looked troubled. Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes. His gaze was like lightning. He said coldly, "Where is the person who took out the blood essence to trade?" "I'm sorry, Son of God. This merchant alliance has rules." "We can't say," Elder Wang said awkwardly. "You can't say? Are you sure?" Jun Xiaoyao took a step forward. Golden qi and blood surged. It was as if a golden god king had arrived. Even the Saint King Realm Elder of the Merchant Alliance felt a sense of suffocation. How powerful is the Son of God of the Jun family? The Elder of the Merchant Alliance was shocked. Why did he feel that Jun Xiaoyao was more powerful than the Saint King? At that moment, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to have detected something. The corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Trying to run? Jun Xiaoyao broke through the dome of the treasure tower and came into the void. Far away, a figure was driving a starry sky flying ship. He was panicking and trying to escape from the ancient planet of Shangqiu. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand. His magic power condensed into the divine god's spear and shot it at the starry sky flying ship. The void was pierced, and a sharp whistling sound was heard. Boom! The flying ship exploded. Sparks flew everywhere. Jun Xiaoyao deliberately held back. He didn't kill the person directly. He wanted to ask something. He stretched out his hand and grabbed at the void. Rune nomological imprints directly grabbed the battered and exhausted figure and pulled him over. "Son of God, spare my life. Spare me. I have nothing to do with this." It was a young man who was being held by the law hand. He was crying and begging for mercy. If he knew that Jun Xiaoyao would come to the trade fair, he wouldn't have accepted this task. "Nothing to do with you? Speak clearly," Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. "I was just asked by someone to auction the blood essence. I don't know who got it from." The young man was so scared that tears flowed down his face. Jun Xiaoyao came to realize that he was nothing more than cannon fodder sent to die. "Who asked you to do this?" Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. "The Conqueror's Star, the Tsang family." The young man trembled. A gloomy look was seen in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. It seemed like his opponent wasn't just the Conqueror. There was also the Overlord clan. What about the desolate ancient sacred palace? Had it declined? Otherwise, why would the Overlord clan be so fierce? At that moment, there were many questions in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. There were many mysteries waiting for him to solve. He casually clenched his fist. With a bang, the young man's body exploded into a bloody pulp. Nothing was left. "Conqueror's Star. Tsang family," Jun Xiaoyao muttered. In his deep eyes, there seemed to be an ancient star burning. Chapter 6:15. The tyrant body and the sacred body were mortal enemies. If they ran into each other, there was no need to say anything. They would just fight. Therefore, Jun Xiaoyao felt nothing but coldness toward the tyrant body and the Tsang family of the Conqueror. He also wanted to know what happened to the sacred palace of the ancients. He wanted to know if there were other sacred bodies of the ancients or descendants of the sacred body in the depths of the ancient road. However, he could not rush these things. Jun Xiaoyao still needed to cultivate. Because what he had to fight was not just the tyrant body, but the entire tyrant body. Jun Xiaoyao let out a sigh and calmed down. He was already thinking about his future plans. With the blood essence of the sacred body that he obtained after breaking 10 shackles, He should have the ability to help other sacred bodies or their descendants unlock their potential. Maybe I'll have a sacred body of the ancients as my follower, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Of course, this was all for later. Jun Xiaoyao returned to Baoke. The scene of him casually killing someone in the void was also witnessed by everyone. They could not help but feel terrified and fearful. Jun Xiaoyao was truly unbridled. No one or force was capable of making him hold back in the slightest. Son of God, this. The elder of the business alliance choked and was speechless. Jun Xiaoyao was too ferocious and decisive, killing the seller right there and then. The Son of God wants the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients. Does anyone have a problem with that? Jun Xiaoyao looked around and said coldly. Even when the elixir fragments were being auctioned, Jun Xiaoyao did not say anything. He used his power to suppress others. However, at that moment, he had spoken. There was silence all around. Of course, everyone knew that Jun Xiaoyao was not in a good mood right now. It was no different from asking for trouble. Son of God, this is against the rules. The elder of the business alliance was anxious. Don't worry, the Son of God will not take it for free. Jun Xiaoyao sneered and flicked his finger. A source stone fell to the ground with a clang. Everyone looked at it. It was not the celestial source, the divine source, or the immortal source. It was just an ordinary, low-level source stone. It could be said that even small cultivators who had just started cultivating wouldn't use this kind of origin stone for cultivation. Not to mention the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients. Now, is it against the rules? Jun Xiaoyao teased. The business alliance of 10,000 clans. Then I'll give you the rules. Not to take your things for free. Yes, yes. The merchant union elder's forehead was covered in cold sweat as he nodded and bowed. It was apparent that Jun Xiaoyao was expressing his dissatisfaction with the auction of the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients by the business alliance. If someone with a sacred body of the ancients was willing to put their blood essence up for auction, Jun Xiaoyao would have nothing to say. However, it was clear that the blood was extracted from the sacred body by the Conqueror Star Tsang family through some means. Jun Xiaoyao had no intention of refining the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients. He would use this essence blood to trace back to his ancestors and find the origin of the saint body. Let's go. Jun Xiaoyao flung his sleeves and was about to leave. Suddenly, a demonic wind surged in the void, and a murderous aura filled the sky. As expected of the Son of God of the Jun family. I've witnessed your tyranny today. The voice echoed in the void with a demonic aura that sent chills down one's spine. Above the starry sky, 4 figures appeared, all of them surging with terrifying murderous aura. Each of the figures was above the sage realm. The leader was a gray-haired man whose cultivation level had reached the late stage of the sage realm. It's the remaining 4 of the 8 minor saints. Is that the leader of the 8 minor saints, the 9-headed bug? I heard that he has the bloodline of the primordial 9 phoenix and the primordial 9 snakelet. Yeah, I've heard that the 9-headed bug escaped from the hands of the outlawed sky prides with ease. Even if he's not an outlawed sky prides, his strength is probably not far from it. You must be here to seek justice for the deaths of the 4 little saints. Not only the sky prides in the treasure tower, but also the entire Shangqiu holy city. The 8 minor saints were well known on the ancient road, especially the 9-headed bug, who was already at the top of the giant leaderboard. Jun Xiaoyao slowly raised his head and looked at the 9-headed bug and the other 3. The tiny jade hair in his arms had her ears perked up. Her ruby-like eyes were red with hostility, and her snow-white fur stood on end. It was obvious that the little rabbit hated the 8 minor saints who hunted her and her master. Are you here to seek revenge for the 4 of them? Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently as if the 4 of them did not exist. Sensing Jun Xiaoyao's disdain, the 9-headed bug frowned. However, he knew that Jun Xiaoyao was very powerful, and it was impossible for him to defeat him. With that in mind, the 9-headed bug said, son of God of the June family, you and I have minded our own business. Although you've killed 4 of my brothers, as long as you hand over the tying jade hair, I'll let bygones be bygones." The 9-headed bug's words stunned all the cultivators in Shankyu Holy City. They never expected the 9-headed bug, who had always been known for being overbearing, to be so cowardly. Not only was it cowardly, but it was so cowardly that it did not even want to seek revenge for the deaths of its brothers. Jun Xiaoyao sneered. It seemed that the 9-headed bug was not stupid. It knew that he was a tough nut to crack, so it did not want to provoke him. However, the problem was that Jun Xiaoyao was not in a good mood at the moment. The 9-headed bug and the others happened to be in his crosshairs. "Young master likes to play with me so much, so he won't give me away. You 4 ugly things, just give up." The tying jade hair stood up on its hind legs, clenching its furry paws in protest. Jun Xiaoyao liked to play with her so much, so why would he give her to the 9-headed bug? Not to mention, Jun Xiaoyao still wanted to bring her to her master. "Son of God of the Jun family, what's your decision?" The 9-headed bug ignored the tying jade hair and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. "Do you know that you're very unlucky?" Jun Xiaoyao suddenly said. "What do you mean?" The 9-headed bug frowned. "This son of God is very unhappy right now, so I'll use your lives to vent my anger." As Jun Xiaoyao finished speaking, he clenched his fist, and divine power surged. The strength of 100,000 divine elephants surged out from his fist. A single punch could cause stars to fall from the heavens and shatter the heavens. "Oh no, everyone, let's attack together!" The 9-headed bug shouted when he saw Jun Xiaoyao's punch that seemed to be able to destroy thousands of worlds. He also used his grand theurgy, and his murderous aura turned into a giant palm that could cover half the sky. The other 3 minor saints also used their own theurgies. The indigo lion spirit roared and green ripples spread out. This was a theurgy that was similar to the lion roar, and it caused the void to ripple violently. The red tiger shark manifested his natal divine weapon, a long red saber that was refined from his shark fin. With a slash of the saber, a 1,000-foot-long crack was created in the void. The prodigy of the Scorpio tribe took out a scorpion tail needle and pierced through the void. The 4 minor saints attacked together, and their power was evident. However, under Jun Xiaoyao's punch, even thousands of Daos would be shattered, let alone the 4 minor saints. Boom! A heaven-shaking, earth-shattering explosion rang out. It was as if fireworks had exploded in the sky above the Shankyu Holy City, and many cracks appeared in the void. All the prodigies around the Shankyu ancient star were attracted by the explosion, and they couldn't help but wonder what the outcome would be. Chapter 6:16. Amidst the smoke, the indigo lion spirit, the red tiger shark, and the sky prides of the Scorpio tribe roared in anger. Even if they attacked with all their might, they could not block Jun Xiaoyao's fist radiance. Jun Xiaoyao's attack was too fierce. His punch seemed to be able to destroy the Taoist patterns of the heavens, causing the surrounding void to collapse and shatter. Logically speaking, even if one reached the sage stage and had the ability to tear the void apart, it was impossible. Even so, it was impossible for him to be like Jun Xiaoyao, who was able to cause a large area of the void to collapse with a casual punch. It could only be said that Jun Xiaoyao's combat strength could not be measured simply by his cultivation level. Ah! Screams were heard from the explosion. The indigo lion spirit and the other 2 sky prides were crushed by the tremendous force and shattered inch by inch. Although their physical bodies were not weak, they still could not block Jun Xiaoyao's punch. Boom! 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 3 explosions were heard as their bodies exploded, and even their primordial spirits were crushed into nothingness. Only the 9-headed bug was lucky enough to escape with his life. However, he spat out blood as cracks spread across his body. His originally cold expression turned into one of unprecedented horror. He knew that Jun Xiaoyao had outlaw-level combat strength. However, their battle prowess was simply too strong. It was far stronger than the outlawed sky prides he fought before. Let's go. That was the only word in the nine-headed bug's mind. Jun Xiaoyao's strength had exceeded his expectations. It had far surpassed the outlaw-level combat strength. He originally thought that even if he could not defeat Jun Xiaoyao, he could still leave with ease. Now, he was not sure if he could survive, let alone leave with ease. You want to leave just like that? Jun Xiaoyao's expression was indifferent. He controlled the power of space and activated the Kuan Peng's great divine power, displaying the Kuan Peng's extreme speed. Endless spatial Taoist patterns appeared under his feet as if they were intertwined into a Kuan Peng. Jun Xiaoyao was like a Kuan Peng leaping into the sea. He was so fast that there was an ear-piercing sound of explosion. He threw a punch with the power of the divine elephant and the Kuan Peng's infinite divine fist. The runes were as vast as the sea, and the Kuan Peng was boundless. Its divine power was shocking. Seeing this, the nine-headed bug felt a sense of danger. He let out a long howl, and his body tore apart and expanded. He had actually transformed into his true form. It was a ferocious beast with 9 heads. There was a bird head, a python head, and a flood dragon head. It really looked like an ancient great evil. Roar! 9 long howls were heard as the 9 heads of the nine-headed bug spat out all kinds of water, fire, poison, and energy beams. So strong! The sky prides of Shangqiu's sacred city could not help but twitch their eyelids when they saw the nine-headed bug. He was like a big boss in a dangerous cave, with a terrifying murderous aura and pressure. They finally understood why the nine-headed insect was qualified to compete with the outlawed sky prides. However, in the next moment, Jun Xiaoyao's punch was godly. The Kuan Peng's boundless divine fist blossomed with terrifying black and golden light. That was the transformation of the Kuan fish and the Great Peng. The boundless Tao laws in the surrounding void seemed to shatter under Jun Xiaoyao's punch. Facing this punch that pierced through the sky, even if the nine-headed bug revealed its true form, it could not block it. Spurt! Jun Xiaoyao's fist radiance directly penetrated the nine-headed bug's body. Blood splattered across the sky and dyed the starry sky red. The nine-headed bug let out a long howl in pain. Jun Xiaoyao, do you really want to become enemies with the Sun God Mountain, the 10 princes of Jinwu, and the others over a tiny jade hair? Sensing that the situation was extremely bad, the nine-headed bug had no choice but to use the 10 princes of Jinwu. After all, the 10 princes of the Golden Crow were too famous in the ancient road of ultimate. They were the 10 eternal blazing suns, and there was more than one outlawed sky prides among them. Moreover, the one who wanted to capture the tiny jade hair and Yu Chanwan was the 10th prince, who was the youngest among the 10 princes of the Golden Crow. However, he was the most talented and possessed the sun god constitution. It's just 10 mixed birds. Don't you think it's ridiculous to use them to threaten the Son of God? Jun Xiaoyao sneered. Did anyone have the right to use them to threaten him? All sky prides in the Shangqiu holy city were speechless. Jun Xiaoyao was the only one who dared to call the 10 princes of the Golden Crow a mixed bird. Even outlawed beings would not dare to provoke the 10 princes of the Golden Crow. This was because if the 10 princes attacked at the same time, the outlawed sky prides would not be able to stop them and would be killed. The 10 princes all possessed the Golden Crow bloodline. If they did not die, they would become Chaos Tao Lords or even Boundary Emperors in the future. Even the youngest 10th prince had the bearing of a great emperor. Don't worry. It won't be long before those 10 mixed birds join you in the afterlife. Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. With a shake of his arm, boundless divine power burst out and tore the nine-headed bug's body apart. Its flesh and blood scattered in all directions. Amidst the bloody mist, a pitch-black primordial spirit was about to fly into the distance. Jun Xiaoyao channeled the power of his primordial spirit and spat out a mouthful of chaos divine grindstone's blood that seemed capable of obliterating the heavens. The nine-headed bug's primordial spirit did not even have the chance to struggle before it was crushed into nothingness by the chaos divine grindstone. At this point, the 8 primordial imperial small saints who were quite famous on the ancient road of ultimate extremity were all dead. The air was filled with the thick smell of blood. Jun Xiaoyao stood in the void in his white robe. His body was spotless and not a single drop of blood stained his body. He killed the 4 small saints with a wave of his hand. Everyone was shocked speechless by his demeanor. Before this, they had only heard of Jun Xiaoyao's legend. Now, they witnessed it with their own eyes. The 9-headed bug that could escape from the outlawed Sky Prides could not even withstand a single punch from the Jun family's Son of God. It was killed just like that. The Jun family's Son of God probably already possesses outlawed combat strength, right? Ordinary outlawed Sky Prides don't have combat strength like the Jun family's Son of God. He must be the taboo of the taboo. Many Sky Prides discussed and praised him. Inside the bouquet, Hu Qingqing's charming face was also a little dazed. She did not expect Jun Xiaoyao to be so strong that even the 9-headed bug could not withstand a single blow from him. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's white robe fluttered in the wind and he looked extremely charming. Even Hu Qingqing, who was full of resentment, could not help but admire him. In other words, if Jun Xiaoyao was not so mean to her, Hu Qingqing would definitely lick his boots like a bitch. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not care about her at all. She did not even have the right to be a bitch. This was infuriating. Now, Hu Qingqing could only rely on Emojinyu from the Holy Spirit Island to help her. Innate Holy Spirits are invincible among their peers. Jun Xiaoyao, you'll regret rejecting me. Hu Qingqing thought to herself. The entire Shangqiu sacred city regained its peace. Jun Xiaoyao also returned to his residence with Tian Yuan, Lu Renjiao, and the others. As for the girl from the Naga tribe, the people from the business alliance of 10,000 tribes would naturally take her away. Although the matter had ended, the discussion about Jun Xiaoyao did not stop. The Son of God of the Jun family has offended the Sun God Mountain and the 10 princes of Jinwu, right? Let's not talk about the 10 princes of Jinwu. Have you counted how many forbidden existences the Son of God of the Jun family has offended in Shangqiu Ancient Star? Let me think. First, he saved the Tang Jade Hair and became enemies with the 10 princes of the Golden Crow tribe. Then, at Tian Yuan's banquet, he killed the Qin family's Sky Pride Qin Zimo. He also indirectly offended the Qin family's Son of God, Qin Wudao. At the auction, he also refined the sky-reaching rock spirit. He became enemies with the innate Holy Spirit of the Holy Spirit Island, Emojinyu. And judging from the fact that the Son of God of the Jun family killed the person who auctioned the blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients, it seems to be related to the tyrant body, the archenemy of the sacred body. The group of cultivators recalled and were suddenly stunned. They did not know before, but they were shocked when they did. So, the Son of God of the Jun family has offended forbidden existences not long after he set foot on the ancient ultimate road? Amazing! I have nothing to say. Not many people dare to offend the Son of God of the Jun family, but the Son of God of the Jun family has offended many forbidden existences. Next, it's going to be interesting. Chapter 6:17. The entire Shangqiu holy city was talking about Jun Xiaoyao. Under the starry sky, he killed the 4 minor saints and the 9-headed bug with a single hand. This was something that even the outlawed Sky Prides could not do. No one could imagine what Jun Xiaoyao's limits were. As for Jun Xiaoyao himself, he was already resting in Fairy Yuan's residence. He did not care about what the outside world said about him. Call him domineering or arrogant, this was Jun Xiaoyao's way of doing things. He thought what he thought and did what he did. He had no scruples and was lawless. In other words, Jun Xiaoyao was the law, and Jun Xiaoyao was the heavens. At this moment, in Fairy Yuan's room, Fairy Yuan sat next to Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao stroked the tiny jade hair in his hand as he looked at the Naga girl locked in the iron cage. This young girl from the Naga tribe had a pale and youthful face. She did not look old among the Naga tribe. However, her figure was strangely mature. She had a big bosom and a slim waist. That green snake tail did not weaken the girl's attractiveness. Instead, it added a strange charm to the girl. It was a classic example of a child's face being humiliated. Is this the racial talent of the Naga girls? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. If it was a male cultivator with a special fetish, his eyes would definitely light up as if he had found a treasure. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm and clear. He did not have a hobby of refining copper. Of course, legal lolas like Jiang Luoli were a different story. While Jun Xiaoyao was looking at the Naga girl, the girl was also looking at Jun Xiaoyao. To be honest, she was stunned. Previously, the girl thought that the person who bought her would be a fierce and fearsome 7-foot-tall man. Who would have thought that it would be a handsome young man in a snow-white robe? In the Naga tribe, most of the women were enchanting, charming, and beautiful. However, the male Nagas were not flattering. They were like lizard men, cold and fierce. The girl had lived in the Naga tribe's ancestral land since she was young. Naturally, it was impossible for her to see men outside the Naga tribe. When she sneaked out of the ancestral land, she let down her guard because she saw that the human cultivators were all kind and did not look like the male Nagas in her tribe. Who would have thought that she would be abducted? The girl's heart was traumatized by the humans. However, it was difficult for her to hate him, because he was too handsome. What's your name? Jun Xiaoyao asked. My name is Bai Ling, the young serpent woman named Bai Ling stuttered. Originally, she still had the thought of fighting to the end and wanted to put on a stubborn and fierce look. However, he simply couldn't bring himself to act tough when facing Jun Xiaoyao. Whatever Jun Xiaoyao asked, she answered without thinking. Jun Xiaoyao snapped his fingers, and the iron cage containing the girl shattered. Come here, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Fear appeared on Bai Ling's face when she heard this. Was it finally time for what was to come? The Naga tribe had always matured early. Although Bai Ling had never experienced it before, she did not understand it. She instinctively knew something. I'm still young, Bai Ling stammered. She was afraid of the unknown. Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. Was he that kind of person? That shouldn't be the case. At this moment, the tiny jade hair in Jun Xiaoyao's arms transformed into a little girl with silver hair. She smiled. Don't worry, young master is very good. He won't do anything to you. Bai Ling felt a little safer when she saw a little girl around her age. She moved her tail closer to Jun Xiaoyao. The closer she got, the more amazed Bai Ling was at Jun Xiaoyao's handsomeness. He's so handsome. He shouldn't be a bad person, right? Bai Ling thought to herself. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly reached out and grabbed Bai Ling's tail. Bai Ling let out a delicate cry, her delicate face instantly turning red. To the Naga tribe, touching one's tail was a form of courtship. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao didn't know this. At this moment, he was sizing up the scales on the Bai Ling snake's tail. There were actually ancient runes flowing within them. At the same time, Jun Xiaoyao could sense that Bai Ling's bloodline was not ordinary. There was actually a hint of ancient aura in her bloodline. You're the princess of the Naga tribe, and your mother is Queen Medusa? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Bai Ling's face was red as she nodded her sharp chin. A hint of suspicion appeared on Jun Xiaoyao's face. As for Queen Medusa, she was only a holy lord. Logically speaking, although her bloodline power was strong, it was impossible for her to have such an ancient aura. Jun Xiaoyao also sensed Bai Ling's cultivation level. She had reached the quasi-saint realm. A quasi-saint at such a young age could definitely be described as a monster. However, it was strange. Bai Ling didn't seem to know any remarkable martial arts, nor did she know how to use her own strength. It was as if she had grown up in a greenhouse. Who is your father? Jun Xiaoyao continued asking. The bloodline in Bai Ling's body was strange. It definitely wasn't the bloodline of a holy lord. Jun Xiaoyao even guessed that this bloodline power was at least at the quasi-emperor level. However, the Naga tribe didn't have a quasi-emperor. This was strange. Since this bloodline wasn't passed down by Queen Medusa, Jun Xiaoyao felt that it was very likely related to Bai Ling's father. When Bai Ling heard this, she shook her head blankly. I don't have a father. I heard from my mother that she gave birth to me alone. What? Jun Xiaoyao was really surprised. The Naga tribe didn't reproduce asexually. How could Queen Medusa alone give birth to Bai Ling? As expected. At the side, Fairy Yuan's eyes flashed as if she knew something. Fairy Yuan, you seem to know something? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Fairy Yuan pondered. Actually, I don't know too much. However, I feel that it should be related to the Temple of Doom. The Temple of Doom? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes showed that he was thinking. He was becoming more and more interested in this ancient site. How was Bai Ling born? Where did her bloodline come from? What did it have to do with the Temple of Doom? Jun Xiaoyao felt that there might be a big secret behind this. If he knew the answer and obtained the benefits, it might be of great help to him. Jun Xiaoyao had always been the kind of person who would never do anything unless there was something to gain from it. He was only willing to explore things with benefits. Bai Ling's small eyes secretly glanced at Jun Xiaoyao. Her small face revealed an uneasy expression. She didn't know how Jun Xiaoyao would deal with her. Was he really going to play an adult's game? Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Bai Ling and said, Stay here for now. After that, I'll go to your hometown, the ancient underworld planet. What? Bai Ling can go home? Bai Ling's green eyes widened in disbelief. This little brother in front of her had paid a huge price to buy her, and now he wanted to send her back? There was such a good person in the human race? Of course. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Those familiar with him knew that this smile had a hint of calculation. Going to the ancient underworld planet to explore the Temple of Doom, Bai Ling was an important chess piece. She couldn't be lost. At the critical moment, she could even be used to threaten the Naga tribe's sacred lord powerhouse, Queen Medusa. However, the naive Bai Ling naturally didn't know Jun Xiaoyao's inner plan. She only felt that this little brother in front of her was not only good-looking but also kind. He was so kind that he wanted to send her home. Such a kind person was hard to find. Chapter 6:18. In the following days, Jun Xiaoyao did not rush to the ancient heavenly underworld star. There was still some time before the Temple of Doom was fully opened. At that time, when the divine temple opened, it was clear that Fairy Yuan and Hu Qingqing would not be the only ones to explore. They were not the only ones interested in the Temple of Doom. Before this, Jun Xiaoyao was planning to condense the next strand of immortal qi. After obtaining the immortal pill fragment, his foundation would be even stronger. Jun Xiaoyao began his closed-door cultivation. As for Bai Ling, she was completely relaxed when she learned that she could go home. She became friends with the Tying Jade Hair. Fairy Maiden Yuan was also adjusting her breathing and cultivating as she began her preparations. She was not weak either. She was in the late sage stage. Jun Xiaoyao sat cross-legged in a quiet spiritual qi secret chamber. A vortex was spinning between his palms. Black and white lights were converging. Vaguely, they seemed to have transformed into two life and death Dharma wheels, one black and one white. As the Dharma wheels spun, dense life and death arcana flowed. It was as if countless living beings were being born and destroyed in Jun Xiaoyao's palms. Jun Xiaoyao wanted to use the heavenly wheel of death to comprehend the will of life and death. With Jun Xiaoyao's monstrous comprehension, this was naturally not a problem. Then, he took out the immortal pill fragment again. Although it was only a fragment, the immortal energy was enough to make one feel as if they had ascended to immortality. Jun Xiaoyao activated the god-devouring demonic technique again. A pitch-black devouring vortex appeared and began to devour and refine the immortal pill fragment. Vaguely, an embryonic form of immortal chi with the will of life and death began to appear on the surface of his body. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was immersed in his cultivation, there was another commotion on the ultimate ancient road. At the starting point of the ancient road, where the Dragon Gate was, there were thousands of strands of divine light that illuminated the world. Although it was not as terrifying as when Jun Xiaoyao stepped into the Dragon Gate and caused hundreds of dragons to roar, it was still shocking enough. Another outlawed Sky Pride has stepped into the Dragon Gate and entered the ancient road. I wonder which immortal realm this taboo is from. Sigh. In this era of great battles, all sorts of monsters have appeared. Some of the outlawed Sky Prides on the ancient road who had sensed the Dragon Gate's energy waves sighed softly. In this world of great battles, the competition was simply too intense. In the past epochs, outlawed Sky Prides were few and far between when the ancient road opened. However, in this era, taboos were everywhere, and the taboos list had been published long ago. There were even rumors saying that the monarch ranking that had not been opened for many eras was about to be opened in the era of great competition. When that time came, only the geniuses who were ranked on the monarch ranking would have the right to decide the fate of the world. Even the outlawed Sky Prides had no choice but to retreat to the second line of duty. This ignited the outlawed Sky Pride's competitive spirit. To be able to obtain a taboo title, which one of them was weak. Just as all the prodigies were in awe on the Dragon Gate's side, divine light once again shone in all directions. What's going on? Another outlawed Sky Pride has crossed the Dragon's Gate in such a short time? Some of the outlawed Sky Prides were bewildered. Then, another shocking thing happened. The Dragon Gate was in an uproar once again. Divine light illuminated the sky. The third one. This time, the entire ancient road was in an uproar again. Some of the outlawed Sky Prides were so moved that they could not sit still anymore. What's going on? 3 outlawed Sky Prides have crossed the ancient road in such a short time? How is that possible? Although there are more outlawed Sky Prides in this era than in previous eras, they're not as common as cabbages. Many were bewildered, and some even suspected that something had happened to the Dragon Gate. However, the Dragon Gate was an ancient artifact that had spanned many eras. It was impossible for something like this to happen. In other words, 3 outlawed Sky Prides had crossed the Dragon Gate in such a short time, and it was very likely that they had crossed it together. The 3 outlawed Sky Prides are on the same side. It seems like another powerful force is about to appear on the ancient road, some of the outlawed Sky Prides muttered. Outlawed Sky Prides were terrifying. Outlawed Sky Prides who banded together were even more terrifying. For example, the 10 Golden Crow Crown Princes were outlawed Sky Prides who banded together against a common enemy. Who would dare to provoke them? Meanwhile, at the starting point of the ancient road, at the Dragon Gate, a large group of Sky Prides from the 9 Heavens' immortal domain were dumbfounded. They stared blankly at the Dragon Gate that kept flashing with divine light. What a group of ferocious people! Following the crowd's gaze, a group of people had already crossed the Dragon Gate. They were the Jun family, the Jiang family, and Jun Xiaoyao's followers. Among them, Jiang Xingyi's snow-white robe fluttered in the wind. She looked graceful and elegant, and her long, snow-white hair fluttered gently in the wind. Her face was as beautiful as a painting. Her red lips curled up slightly as she looked at the ancient road with a smile. Xiaoyao, the strong always walk alone, but I won't allow you to be alone, Jiang Xingyi murmured. Her bright eyes were filled with determination. She was one of the 3 outlawed Sky Prides who had caused a commotion in the Dragon Gate. She was a one-of-a-kind innate Taoist embryo. Moreover, she had merged with Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancient's blood essence, which made up for the shortcomings of her physical body. She could even manifest part of the innate sacred body's power. After that, she had completely merged with and refined 20 seals of doctrine. Jiang Xingyi's current cultivation base had also reached the forbidden level. She wanted to catch up with Jun Xiaoyao's footsteps and stand side by side with him. Hee, that's right. Although we're not as talented as Xiaoyao, we can't let him shoulder everything by himself. Beside her, a handsome man with a long umbrella in his hand and a flagon on his waist smiled slightly. It was Lord Grimm. As the former Sequence 0 of the Jun family, he had the Renhuang physique, and had merged with many seals of doctrine that Jun Xiaoyao had given him. Lord Grimm had also reached the forbidden level without any surprise. Although cousin Xiaoyao alone can conquer all of history, we can't leave him behind too much. A handsome man with a black cloth over his eyes chuckled. It was Jun Lingsong, the man with polychoria of the Jun family. He was the third forbidden level who had caused a commotion. That's right. It's impossible for Brother Xiaoyao to get rid of us. Jiang Luoli was also there. She clenched her fists and her eyes were bright. She had also merged with the seal of doctrine. Although she had not reached the forbidden level, she was still a quasi-forbidden level. She was a lot stronger than the other geniuses. We have to catch up with Master too. Yu Yen Qingying and the reincarnation sacred flesh, Wang Chuan, were there too. They too possessed the strength of a quasi-forbidden level. They were not far away from becoming an outlaw genius. In addition to them, there were a few people who were related to Jun Xiaoyao, such as Xiao Maxian, Mu Yuehan, Princess Longji, Jun Mulan, Xiao Xian, and the others who had improved significantly too. The seal of proving of the way that Jun Xiaoyao bestowed upon them enabled the cultivation of the people around him to reach a whole new level. 3 forbidden level cultivators, a group of quasi-forbidden level cultivators, and a group of quasi-forbidden level cultivators. It was a formidable force even in the Emperor Road. Oh my, are these people all close to the Son of God of the Jun family? The geniuses of the 9 heavens immortal realm were dumbfounded. What a luxurious lineup. They must have paid for it. However, on second thought, it was true that Jun Xiaoyao had given them the seal of doctrine. Everyone, let's meet at the end of the ancient path. Lord Grimm smiled. The space around him shuddered and teleported him to the beginning of the ancient path. The rest of the geniuses were teleported too. In the end, Jiang Xingyi was the only one left. She was looking into the distance. She stood there elegantly like a crescent moon, like a pile of snow on a jade tree. Her beauty was suffocating. Then, on her beautiful and flawless face that was like a painting, a wisp of a little woman's moving coquettishness suddenly appeared. How dare you leave without saying goodbye? Xiaoyao, if we meet again, I won't forgive you so easily. Chapter 619. In the blink of an eye, more than half a year had passed. The commotion in Shangqiu Sacred City gradually calmed down. However, there were still many geniuses visiting Fairy Yuan's private courtyard every day. There were also many female cultivators who came to see if they could try their luck and see the legendary Son of God. However, to their disappointment, there was no sign of anything happening in the courtyard where Jun Xiaoyao was training in isolation. These female cultivators were not discouraged. As Jun Xiaoyao's fanatical fans, they had stayed in Shangqiu Holy City to see Jun Xiaoyao with their own eyes. During this period of time, Bai Ling had completely become friends with the lunar jade rabbit, Lu Renjia, and the others, becoming familiar with each other. On this day, there was a sudden movement in the courtyard that had been silent for a long time. Rumble! Heaven and earth were shaking. Many cultivators were shocked to find that the spiritual qi of the entire Shangqiu ancient star was converging toward Jun Xiaoyao's courtyard. A terrifying spiritual qi storm formed in the sky above the courtyard. It was like a dragon that pierced through the stars. Many cultivators had never seen such a scene in their lives. Oh my God, even a supreme being's cultivation can't compare to this, right? Some people were shocked. Fairy Yuan, Bai Ling, Tang Jade Hair, Lu Renjia, and the others also sensed the movement and came out to take a look. Young Master is finally coming out. Tang Jade Hair clapped and laughed. Goddess Yuan breathed a sigh of relief as well. She was truly worried that Jun Xiaoyao would miss the opportunity to open the Temple of Doom if he went into seclusion for a few years. Bai Ling's eyes were also filled with anticipation. She was looking forward to Jun Xiaoyao coming out of seclusion and bringing her back to Tianming Ancient Star. The spiritual qi storm traversed the sky. Even in the stars it could be seen clearly. The surrounding stars were affected and trembled. Then, one by one, they fell and turned into a meteor shower. This scene was extremely shocking. It was not an exaggeration to say that a supreme being was breaking through. Is the Jun family's Son of God about to break through to the Saint King stage? That one shouldn't have. No lightning tribulation descended. Someone said. But there is a divine will permeating the air. Could it be that the Son of God of the Jun family is going to condense another strand of divine qi? Some geniuses asked suspiciously. I heard that the Son of God of the Jun family has condensed 5 strands of divine qi. Doesn't that mean he has 6 strands? Thinking of this, all the cultivators couldn't help but shudder. 6 strands of immortal qi. Ordinary taboos could not reach this level. However, what they didn't know was that Jun Xiaoyao had already cultivated 8 strands of immortal qi. The last 3 strands of immortal qi were condensed while refining the immortal fetus. The outside world was unaware of this. Under the gazes of tens of thousands of people, a figure left the courtyard and soared into the sky. Jun Xiaoyao's white robes fluttered in the wind, his demeanor elegant. He let out a clear cry, and the spiritual energy storm that spanned thousands of miles in the starry sky gathered around him and was absorbed by him. A wisp of immortal qi filled with the will of life and death coiled around his body like a dragon. The immortal qi of life and death was condensing. As the wisp of immortal qi condensed, the sound of a great bell rang out from Jun Xiaoyao's body, shocking the world. Including the wisp of immortal qi of life and death, Jun Xiaoyao had condensed a total of 9 strands of immortal qi. 9 was the ultimate number. The number of Dian was 49. The Emperor was also known as the Emperor. 9 was higher than the sky. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao had completely reached a certain extreme. Even the ancient emperors, and immortal holy spirits might not have reached this level. What is going on? Why do I feel like the Son of God of the Jun family is going to ascend? I think so too. That Dao sound is too mysterious. It seems like it is going to let people prove their Dao. Many geniuses from all directions raised their heads to look at the white-robed figure standing above the starry sky. Many female cultivators were so excited that they almost fainted. Their long wait was not in vain, as they were finally able to witness Jun Xiaoyao's unparalleled elegance. That Dao sound even made many cultivators sit cross-legged on the spot. It was as if they had an epiphany. 6 strands of immortal qi? Fairy Maiden Yuan also took a deep breath, and her well-shaped chest rose and fell, rippling beautifully. No matter how much she thought of Jun Xiaoyao would always exceed her expectations. Fairy Yuan's eyes flickered as she felt Jun Xiaoyao's earth-shattering power. She seemed to be in deep thought. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao's body trembled slightly as he suppressed the phenomenon. If news of 9 strands of immortal qi spread, it would definitely shock the entire ancient road. Even the outlawed sky prides would tremble. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not think much of it. He did not think that it was a big deal at all. Limits are meant to be broken. 9 strands of immortal qi isn't my limit. Jun Xiaoyao did not seem to be proud of himself at all. He absorbed the immortal qi of life and death into his body. His aura calmed down. The phenomenon and Dao sound around him also dissipated. Heaven and earth returned to normal. Some of the sky prides sat cross-legged on the ground. Their bodies trembled as they broke through a small realm. They were pleasantly surprised. They all cupped their fists respectfully at Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao slowly stepped down. The tiny jade hair was the first to rush up. It threw itself into Jun Xiaoyao's arms without hesitation and rubbed its head against Jun Xiaoyao like a pet. Master, you've been in seclusion for so long, but you haven't touched me. I'm lonely too. The tiny jade hare mumbled. All right, I'll make it up to you later. Jun Xiaoyao rubbed the tiny jade hare's ears and head. He was simply raising a pet. When Bai Ling saw this scene, there was actually a wisp of faint envy in her beautiful eyes. Fairy Yuan stepped forward and glanced at Jun Xiaoyao. She said sweetly, in just half a year, the Son of God has condensed another strand of immortal qi. Now that you have 6 strands of immortal qi, the Son of God is definitely the top among the taboos. That's nothing, Jun Xiaoyao said. He did not correct her by saying that he had 9 strands of immortal qi, because from the beginning to the end, he had never completely trusted Fairy Yuan. They were just cooperating and using each other. Congratulations, Master. Your cultivation has improved again. Lu Renjia also cupped his fists respectfully. After that, he was also very attentive. He told Jun Xiaoyao some important news that happened on the ancient road when he was in seclusion. For example, there seemed to be some unusual movements on the ancient heavenly underworld star where the Temple of Doom was located. The situation there was a bit of chaos. The Sky Prides of the Emperor Road wanted to explore the ancient heavenly underworld star, but they clashed with the Naga tribe. There were bloody incidents from time to time. There was also news that the Sacred Island's innate sacred spirit, Emojinyu, had formed an alliance with the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's noble lady, Hu Qingqing. Emojinyu also said that if Jun Xiaoyao dared to go to the ancient heavenly underworld star, she would definitely settle the score with him for the sky-piercing rock spirit. There was also news that the infamous 13 bandits of the Emperor Road seemed to be on the move as well. The 13 bandits of the Emperor Road loved to scheme and plot. They would intercept the strongest Sky Prides halfway and rob them of their opportunities of fortune, bloodline, and physique. There were even outlawed Sky Prides who were robbed of their inherited bloodlines. There was a rumor that one of the 13 bandits of the Emperor Road had said that he did not know how miraculous the sacred body of the ancients' blood essence and bones of supremacy were. In other words, they wanted to rob Jun Xiaoyao of his sacred body of the ancients and bones of supremacy. Chapter 620. Upon hearing this news, Jun Xiaoyao smiled and shook his head slightly. He did not take Emojinyu's threat to heart at all. The so-called innate sacred spirit was just a material to refine his universal qi cauldron. As for the 13 bandits of Emperor Road, they were even more laughable. Wanting to rob him of his blood essence and dig out his supreme being bone was simply a fantasy story. It was incomparably comical. Young Master Jun, you shouldn't underestimate the 13 bandits of Emperor Road. Their identities are mysterious, and their origins are a mystery. There's more than one outlawed being among them. The top few among the 13 bandits can threaten the lives of outlawed Sky Prides. Rumor has it that the immortal bandit, who ranks first among the 13 bandits, wears a grimacing mask, has the Devourer bloodline, and has the ability to kill outlawed Sky Prides. Fairy Yuan warned solemnly. The 13 bandits wanted Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancient's blood essence and honorable bone to give to the immortal bandit. It was hard to imagine how powerful the immortal bandit would become if he devoured Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancient's blood essence and honorable bone. Of course, with Jun Xiaoyao's strength, the probability of such a thing happening was almost zero. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. The immortal bandit who wears a grimacing mask? Interesting. Could it be that he has something to do with that person again? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. There were more and more mysteries now, and Jun Xiaoyao needed to explore them one by one. How do you know so much about this? Jun Xiaoyao looked at Fairy Yuan with a meaningful tone. Young Master Jun, don't you know the goddess Lane's ability to gather information? Fairy Yuan replied calmly. He indeed. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and did not say anything else. He thought a lot in his mind. At this time, Lu Renjia spoke again. Young master, there's another news that I think you'll be interested in. What is it? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Lu Renjia told Jun Xiaoyao about the 3 great taboos shaking up the ancient road. It seems that Sister Xingyi and the others have also stepped onto the ancient road and started their own trials. Jun Xiaoyao smiled, revealing a rare sincere smile. For some reason, looking at this smile, Fairy Yuan felt that it was somewhat dazzling. When Jun Xiaoyao treated her, it was as if he was wearing a cold mask, without any warmth. I know of the goddess of the Jiang clan who has a congenital embryo of the Great Path. Is she your lover, Master Jun? Fairy Yuan looked straight at Jun Xiaoyao and asked. Yes, Jun Xiaoyao replied. Fairy Yuan's eyelashes fluttered like butterfly wings. She lowered her beautiful eyes and said, Then she is really lucky to be treated like this by young Master Jun. It's not luck, but sincerity. Jun Xiaoyao gave Fairy Yuan a meaningful look. Fairy Maiden Yuan was silent. Lu Renjia and the others only thought that Fairy Yuan might be jealous. Well, let's get ready. We have wasted a lot of time, and there is still a long way to go to the ancient underworld star. Jun Xiaoyao flicked his sleeve. They were also preparing to set off for the ancient underworld star. During this time, Jun Xiaoyao also asked Lu Renjia if he still wanted to go with him to the Temple of Doom on the Tianming ancient star. Lu Renjia, however, sighed and bowed to refuse. Thank you very much, young master, but my ability is limited. If I go to such a dangerous place, I will only cause trouble for young master. Besides, in terms of intelligence, Fairy Yuan is far better than me. Lu Renjia was helpless, but there was nothing he could do. He wanted to ride on Yi Futian's coattails, but he was worthless. He couldn't keep up with his martial arts, and he couldn't compare with Fairy Yuan in terms of intelligence. It would be a little awkward if he stayed by Jun Xiaoyao's side. That's good. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and didn't force him. After all, they met by chance. He directly took out a seal of Dao validation and gave it to Lu Renjia. Lu Renjia took it with trembling hands. Jun Xiaoyao took out a token again. It was a token that belonged to him, Jun Xiaoyao. If you are in danger, give me this token and tell them my name. Jun Xiaoyao's words surprised Lu Renjia. With this relationship, even outlawed sky prides would not dare to make a move on him. Thank you, young master. Lu Renjia bowed 90 degrees, with tears and snot flowing. After that, Jun Xiaoyao, Fairy Yuan, Tang Jade Hair, and Bai Ling set off together. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao and the others leave, the people of Shangqiu Holy City sighed. The ancient road of ultimate was going to be turbulent again. At this time, no one noticed. In the dense crowd, a hooded figure looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a sneer in his eyes. We're finally on our way. The opportunity is here. It's time to inform the others. Jun Xiaoyao, boss is going to take your sacred body of the ancients' essence, blood, and bones of supremacy. Boss is the one who has accepted the mandate of heaven to take your life, the figure muttered to himself. Then, his figure disappeared into the shadows of the other sky prides. It was extremely strange. Jun Xiaoyao and the others continued their journey from the 10th checkpoint, Shangqiu Ancient Star. There were a total of 13 checkpoints along the way to Tianming Ancient Star, which would take a lot of time. Moreover, the ancient road of ultimate was more strange and dangerous than the Emperor Road. Although it was still not a fatal threat to Jun Xiaoyao, it would sometimes slow him down. In addition, Jiang Shengyi, Lord Grimm, and the others were also competing on the ancient road of ultimate. They did not deliberately look for Jun Xiaoyao, as they were unwilling to pass the ancient road of ultimate under Jun Xiaoyao's protection. Everyone had their own trials. If fate brought them together, they would naturally meet. The other sky prides of the Huangtian mystic realm also began to show their talents on the ancient road of ultimate. For example, Sword Demon Yi Guchen, who had already set foot on the ancient road of ultimate, rose all the way to the ancient road of ultimate. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, more than a year had passed. Jun Xiaoyao and the others were finally close to Tianming Ancient Star. The closer they were to her hometown, the more excited Bai Ling became. On this day, on the starry sky flying ship, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly said, "Bai Ling, can you hide?" "Why?" Bai Ling was puzzled. "What do you think the Naga tribe will do if they see you by my side?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. Bai Ling was not stupid. She thought for a moment and said, "They might think you're a bad guy." "That's right. Even if you explain, they will still forcibly escort us to Queen Medusa. So, if you can hide, when I enter Tianming Ancient Star, I'll directly put you in a tribe of the Naga tribe, and let you return safely. Wouldn't that be better?" Jun Xiaoyao said with a smile. Bai Ling nodded and said, "You're so thoughtful." She increasingly felt that Jun Xiaoyao was a rare kind person. Then, Bai Ling's delicate body shook and turned into a small green snake. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand and quietly released the third seal of the Forbidden Immortals. All of Bai Ling's senses were sealed, and she could not know what was happening outside. Jun Xiaoyao put the small green snake into his robe. "Young Master Jun, are you deceiving the little girl?" Fairy Maiden Yuan teased. "How can this be called deceiving? I'm protecting her," Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. As a trump card, Bai Ling naturally could not be exposed. If the Naga tribe saw it, it would cause a lot of trouble in advance. Jun Xiaoyao did not want to be targeted by Queen Medusa before he even reached the Temple of Doom. After hiding Bai Ling, Jun Xiaoyao, Fairy Maiden Yuan, and the others also drove the starship into the starfield where Tianming Ancient Star was located. At the same time, in a starry sky near Tianming Ancient Star Field, an incomparably huge ship was traversing the starry sky. There were many powerful auras on it. On the side of the ship, the logo of the Business Alliance of 10,000 Tribes was engraved. This was the slave ship used by the Business Alliance of 10,000 Tribes to capture foreign slaves, and there were powerhouses guarding it. At this moment, on the deck of the ship, an elegant man in green robes was replying to the beautiful woman beside him with a gentle and handsome smile on his face. This man in green was the son of a big shot in the Business Alliance of 10,000 Tribes, and was also a famous giant on Emperor Road. His name was Young Master Fuyun. The woman standing beside him was in a pink dress. Her body was graceful, her waist was slender, and her legs were long and slender. She was an acquaintance of the Huangtian mystic realm, the goddess of the demon god palace, Yen Ruming. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 621. Previously, Yen Ruming had used some information to exchange for Jun Xiaoyao's seal of proving the way. After she had refined it, she had also stepped onto the ancient road of ultimate. However, after stepping onto the ancient road of ultimate, Yen Ruming realized the cruelty of the ancient road of ultimate. Even though she possessed the demon emperor body, she still felt powerless. She needed to be careful at all times. This made Yen Ruming, who was proud in her heart, feel a little disappointed for a while. After all, she stood at the top of the younger generation in the Huangtian mystic realm. Now, on the ancient road of ultimate, she was a little dim. However, Yen Ruming was not discouraged. Instead, she adjusted her state and continued on the road. Halfway through, she also heard about the opportunity in the Temple of Doom, so she wanted to come here to see if she could get some opportunities to transform her strength. Halfway through, she met the slave-catching ship where young Master Fuyun was. They happened to be heading to the ancient Tianming star to capture the Serpent People slaves. The slave-catching ship was much faster than Yen Ruming's travel, and there was a guarantee of safety. Therefore, Yen Ruming boarded the ship along the way. At this moment, young Master Fuyun, although gentle and elegant, was talking to Yen Ruming. However, from the corner of his eyes, intentionally or unintentionally, he was glancing at Yen Ruming's delicate body. Especially that pair of slender, snow-white, perfectly round jade legs, smooth as porcelain, tempting him. Young Master Fuyun looked decent on the surface, but in his heart, he was secretly thinking about how to touch those legs. Little did he know that those legs had already been touched by Jun Xiaoyao. Miss Ru Meng, we are about to reach the ancient Tianming star. When the time comes, Uncle Li and the others will go to capture the Serpent People slaves first, and we can inquire about the news about the Temple of Doom, young Master Fuyun said with a smile. If it was just to capture Serpent People slaves, then young Master Fuyun did not need to come with the ship. He also had a purpose, which was to explore the Temple of Doom. After all, this temple had too many legends related to legendary emperors and even immortals, attracting attention from all directions. This is the Naga's territory. It won't be easy to search for the Temple of Doom, Yen Rumming said. She sensed a dark desire mixed within young Master Floating Cloud's eyes. Her heart was disgusted, but it wasn't good for her to flare up. He only wanted to part ways with young Master Fuyun after reaching the ancient heavenly underworld star. Haha, is Miss Ru Meng at ease? The strongest expert of the Naga tribe is the Holy Master, Queen Medusa. There are law enforcers patrolling the ancient road from time to time? Queen Medusa didn't dare to attack the prodigies of the ancient road? As for the other Nagas? There aren't many powerful ones. Uncle Li is a Saint King small perfection. He will definitely ensure our safety. Not to mention, my father is also a Saint Lord of the Business Alliance of 10,000 races. Even if Queen Medusa were to personally appear, she wouldn't dare to do anything to me. As young Master Floating Cloud spoke, his tone carried a wisp of arrogance and pride. His status wasn't low. Not only did he have a holy lord as a father, but he also had power and wealth. In the past, there were also many women who stuck to him like licking dogs. However, what surprised him was that this woman with a perfect appearance and a superb figure in front of him, she didn't change her attitude towards him because of his status. Pretending to be reserved? Don't worry, I will definitely take you down. Young Master Floating Cloud sneered in his heart. He wouldn't take down such a stunning beauty? It was simply a waste of God's gift. But he didn't know? At this moment, Yen Rumming was thinking of another person in her heart. That person, in terms of strength and identity? In terms of background, it was unknown how many streets away from young Master Floating Cloud. However, he didn't have the slightest bit of arrogance. Just by himself, he had created an eternal legend. I wonder where Jun Xiaoyao is now? Yen Rumming thought to herself. Thinking of Jun Xiaoyao, Yen Rumming gnashed her teeth. This was the only man who touched her leg and took advantage of her. Most importantly, Jun Xiaoyao didn't treat her as one of his own, which was a bit infuriating. Yen Rumming even felt a little wronged. Was she so unworthy of Jun Xiaoyao's attention? Young Master Floating Cloud naturally didn't know that the beautiful woman beside him, who was like a flower on a high mountain, was secretly angry because of another man's disdain. At this moment, some scattered serpent men appeared in front of them. Some sages on the slave-catching ship took action and began to capture the serpent men. The serpent women were the most popular slaves. Not only the Business Alliance of 10,000 tribes, but many other prodigies and forces from the ancient road would come to the ancient underworld star from time to capture the serpent men. In just a few days, the slave-catching ship had already encountered several waves of serpent men. Why do I feel that there are more serpent men? Young Master Floating Cloud was also a little surprised. However, the ancient underworld star was indeed not peaceful recently, and there were often conflicts. But when he thought of the Sage King minor perfection expert on the ship, young Master Floating Cloud's heart calmed down. At this moment, in the starry space ahead, there was a rumbling sound. 3 majestic ancient warships traversed the void. Those are the Serpent Men's ancient warships. On the slave-catching ship, an expert from the Business Alliance of 10,000 tribes whispered. Logically speaking, the Serpent Men generally wouldn't send out their ancient warships because they were afraid of the human enforcers on the ancient road. If they did, it meant that something big was about to happen. Is it because of the Temple of Doom? Yen Ruming's heart skipped a beat as she sensed that the situation wasn't quite right. In front of them, hundreds and thousands of serpent men warriors were densely packed. There were dozens of sages. Among them was a young serpent man with a robust body. His black snake tail was like a dragon's tail and was covered in dense scales. He stood out, and his gaze first fell on Yen Ruming, and he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Serpent men were lustful by nature. A great beauty like Yen Ruming with an excellent figure and slender legs naturally attracted the attention of all the serpent men. "It's you, Emotua, the prodigy of the serpent men." Young Master Floating Cloud's eyes also revealed a hint of fear. This was a prodigy of the serpent men who had quite a reputation. TSK, I wonder how great it would be to train such a beauty as a slave? Emotuo's lips curled into a sinister sneer. How dare you be so presumptuous? Young Master Floating Cloud reprimanded coldly. Yen Ruming was a woman that he regarded as his exclusive property. How could he allow others to blaspheme her? What, you can capture the women of the serpent men as slaves, but I can't enslave you in turn? Emotua sneered. Fight me if you have the guts. Young Master Floating Cloud said righteously. Emotua gave him a chance to show off in front of a beauty. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Emotua directly attacked and began to fight with young Master Floating Cloud. Magic power surged and divine power vibrated. After dozens of rounds, young Master Floating Cloud grunted and was knocked back, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. You want to hook up with a girl with this level of skill? I feel embarrassed for you. Emotua sneered. Uncle Lee, kill him. Young Master Floating Cloud's face flushed red, and he said angrily. Humph, a mere serpent man dares to be so presumptuous. The aura of a saint king at small perfection rose, and a middle-aged man in sackcloth stepped out of the cabin with an indifferent expression. However, at the same time, a saint king's aura erupted from the serpent men's ancient worship, and it even overshadowed Uncle Lee's. That aura was almost at the supreme saint level. Perhaps it could be called a half-step supreme saint. As the crimson flames soared into the sky, a Naga powerhouse whose body was covered in crimson scales and whose eyes were burning with nether fire appeared. How is this possible, General Flaming Snake? Uncle Lee's expression suddenly changed, and his eyes showed shock as he sensed that something was wrong. Young Master Floating Cloud's expression also changed abruptly, with shock. He didn't expect the serpent men to send out such a powerhouse. Yen Ruming's delicate body suddenly tensed up, and her heart jumped to her throat, because she sensed that General Flaming Snake's gaze fell on her as soon as he appeared. Chapter 622. Among the serpent men, other than the strongest sacred lord, Queen Medusa, there were 4 other powerhouses. They were known as the 4 great generals of the serpent men. They were the Lightning Snake Great General, the Green Snake Great General, the Nether Snake Great General, and the Flame Snake Great General. The Flame Snake Great General was the weakest among the 4 great generals, but he had reached the peak of the Saint King realm. He could be considered a half-step great saint. As soon as the Flame Snake Great General appeared, his eyes locked onto Yen Ruming. To be honest, among the serpent men, other than Queen Medusa, he had never seen such a beautiful woman. Yen Ruming was tall and curvy. Her skin was snow-white and tender. It was as if water could be squeezed out of it. She was even more beautiful and flawless. There was also a kind of inherent arrogance that was enough to arouse a man's desire to conquer her. The Flame Snake Great General naturally couldn't hold himself back. "This woman is mine," the Flame Snake Great General said. His voice was hoarse and low, and it made one's hair stand on end. Goosebumps appeared on Yen Ruming's snow-white skin. She felt extremely nauseous. Among the younger generation, she was a prodigy. However, she couldn't be compared to the older generation's powerhouses. It was even more impossible for her to deal with the Flame Snake Great General. Hearing this, Prince Floating Cloud's expression turned ugly. The matter of the Golden Sun was really bad. It would be difficult to resolve it. Flame Snake Great General, you dare to leave the ancestral land? Aren't you afraid of being discovered by the human enforcers? Uncle Lee said coldly with fear in his eyes. The heavenly underworld Ancient Stars Serpentmen tribe was a training ground on the ancient road. To put it bluntly, the Serpentmen tribe was a target for the prodigies of the ancient road to practice. As for Queen Medusa and the other powerhouses, if they dared to interfere and were discovered by the human enforcers, they would definitely suffer. It was also because of this environment that the Serpentmen tribe was incomparably suppressed and lowly. You won't be proud for long. Now, I'll start with you. The Flame Snake Great General snorted coldly. He didn't waste any more words and directly attacked Uncle Lee. Was he the strongest person on this slave-hunting ship? He had the cultivation of a peak Saint King. Boom. 2 Saint Kings were fighting each other? The fluctuations caused the stars in the area to tremble. Many large stars in the surroundings shattered in an instant, and pitch-black cracks appeared in the void. A battle between Saint Kings? The fluctuations were intense. The experts of the business alliance of 10,000 races on the slave boats? They were also engaged in close combat with the Serpentmen warriors. Sir Floating Cloud? Don't even think about escaping. Emo-Tua bit young Master Floating Cloud tightly and began to fight. As for the business alliance of 10,000 races, the Serpentmen all had resentment in their hearts. Did this force capture many Serpentmen as slaves? He had long been a thorn in their side. Damn it! These snakemen are crazy. Young Master Floating Cloud's complexion was ugly. Yen Rumeng also made her move. She activated her demon emperor body and fought with the Naga tribe. However, she could not change anything because the most important thing was to watch the great battle between the Saint Kings. In fact, there was no suspense in the outcome of the battle. A fiery snake general who was half a step into the great Saint realm? He was practically suppressing Uncle Lee. Hellfire Snake. The Flame Snake General activated his ultimate move, and a 10,000 zhang long Hellfire Serpent appeared, squeezing the entire starry sky. Hell flames billowing? His aura surged. Go! A shout from the Flame Snake General? The Hellfire Serpent carried a torrential amount of nether fire as it surged towards Uncle Lee. Ah! A blood-curdling scream rang out. Uncle Lee's skin was charred black and cracked, and the surrounding Dao laws were burned out. He had suffered great injuries. The Flame Snake General attacked again fiercely? He summoned an 8 zhang long fire serpent spear and directly pierced through Uncle Lee's chest. Then, he shook the serpent spear in his hand. Uncle Lee's Saint King body cracked, and blood splattered, spreading throughout the universe. Even his primordial spirit could not escape and was burned to ashes by the Flame Snake General's hellfire. Seeing this scene, everyone in the business alliance of 10,000 clans despaired. Their strongest expert had been killed, and none of them could escape death. No, those women would escape death. However, what greeted them would be worse than death. Seeing this scene, young Master Floating Cloud's eyelids twitched. You have to die too. Emo-Tua charged towards young Master Floating Cloud. Young Master Floating Cloud saw this and gritted his teeth, summoning a talisman. In an instant, vast runes intertwined and fell, forming a resplendent runic magic realm that enveloped young Master Floating Cloud. Come in quickly! Young Master Floating Cloud shouted. The remaining people of the business alliance of 10,000 clans, as well as Yen Rumeng, all entered the runic magic realm. The Flame Snake General frowned and pressed down with his palm, but he was unable to break the runic magic realm in a short time. Seeing that the Flame Snake General was unable to break it, young Master Floating Cloud breathed a sigh of relief and said, "This is a treasure my father left for me. Don't even think about breaking it." His father was a Saint Lord of the business alliance of 10,000 clans. This runic magic realm, ordinary great saints would have to spend a lot of time to break it. I advise you to leave now. Otherwise, when the experts of the business alliance of 10,000 clans arrive, you will undoubtedly die. Young Master Floating Cloud sneered. If I gather the other 3 great generals and join forces to break it, how long do you think it will take? The Flame Snake General's eyes were cold with killing intent. Young Master Floating Cloud was slightly shocked, and his gaze changed. The Flame Snake General continued, "How about this, seeing that you have a backer behind you, if you kick this woman out, I can let the rest of you leave. If you don't agree, I will immediately gather the other 3 great generals. It won't take 2 hours to break your magic realm." The Flame Snake General's words caused young Master Floating Cloud's expression to change drastically. On the side, Yen Ruming's delicate body was even more tense. She bit her red lips, and her charming face was fiendish. The Flame Snake General naturally had his own plans. If he really killed young Master Floating Cloud, it would inevitably cause trouble, and it might even affect Queen Medusa's plan. However, the Flame Snake General didn't want to let go of Yen Rumring, this great beauty, for nothing. This plump little lamb, he must eat it. Young Master Floating Cloud clenched his hands, and his face revealed extreme unwillingness. It wasn't easy to meet such a peerless woman, and he was actually going to give her away for nothing. He was unwilling. However, compared to a beauty, his life was obviously more important. If he lost his life, how could he enjoy a beauty? Making up his mind, young Master Floating Cloud urged the power of the runic magic realm, and directly repelled Yen Ruming. Yen Ruming's charming face was as cold as frost, without the slightest expression. She had never counted on young Master Floating Cloud. However, she didn't expect that he would be so decisive as to sell her out. "I'm sorry, Miss Rumeng. If there is a chance in the future, this young master will seek justice for you." Young Master Floating Cloud transmitted his voice. He didn't feel the slightest bit guilty. Every man for himself, and the heavens take the hindmost. In the face of life and death, it was normal to be selfish and ruthless. Scram! Yen Ruming coldly spat out a word. With her personality, she would rather die than ask young Master Floating Cloud to save her. "Haha, submit to this general." The Flame Snake General laughed. To be able to obtain such a beautiful woman, his harvest was quite good. Yen Ruming took a deep breath, and her heart was filled with despair. The Flame Snake General wasn't an existence that any younger generation could contend against. Facing him, Yen Ruming couldn't even resist. "So there's still no way?" Yen Ruming bit her lips, and her heart was already filled with the desire to die. She urged her magic power, and her aura began to riot. Yen Ruming would rather explode and die than let her delicate body be defiled by the disgusting Naga race. In front of this general, death is a luxury. The Flame Snake General raised his hand, and vast magic power surged, suppressing Yen Ruming, preventing her from exploding. Yen Ruming was completely desperate. She couldn't imagine what would happen to her next. Just as the Flame Snake General was about to capture Yen Ruming to his side, he suddenly noticed that there was a faint fluctuation coming from the distance. It was a starry sky flying ship, and it was flying into the distance as if there was no one around. "Oh, there are still fish that escape the net?" The Flame Snake General didn't care at all. He could vaguely feel that there were only a few auras in the starry sky flying ship, and the strongest among them was only a peak saint. In front of him, a half-step great saint, they were still ants that he could kill with a wave of his hand. The Flame Snake General waved his hand, and a fire snake surged, bringing with it a temperature that could burn the heavens and destroy the earth, and fell on the starry sky flying ship. The Flame Snake General didn't even look at it, and turned to look at Yen Rumring, with an evil sneer at the corner of his mouth, and was about to grab her. At this moment, a loud explosion suddenly came from the distance. That fire snake actually collapsed in the void. The Flame Snake General was slightly surprised, and turned his head. This move of his should be able to kill a saint without a doubt. Amidst the flames and smoke of the explosion, a calm and gentle voice sounded. "Yen Rumring, I didn't expect to see you here." Hearing this voice, Yen Ruming's delicate body suddenly collapsed, and a roar sounded in her mind. setting off waves. Was she so desperate that her consciousness was in chaos? Why was she hallucinating? Why was the guy who touched her leg, took advantage of her, and refused to admit it, here? Chapter 6:23. The flames and smoke that filled the air automatically separated, and a white-clothed figure slowly walked over with his hands behind his back. He was shrouded in immortal light, and his temperament was otherworldly. He was like a banished immortal wandering the mortal world, calm and indifferent. Even in the face of such a situation, the peerless figure was still very calm, without the slightest hint of panic. Looking at this figure, Yen Ruming's beautiful eyes suddenly turned sour, and her vision blurred. Grievance, anger, shame, joy, all kinds of emotions, all kinds of complex feelings, rolled in her heart. In such a desperate situation, she met the person who made her teeth itch in the past, but she couldn't help but think of him. Needless to say, that feeling was very complicated. That person is? Young Master Fuyun, who was in the runic magic world, showed a touch of doubt. That mysterious young master could call out Yen Ruming's name, so he obviously knew her. What made young Master Fuyun a little unhappy was that he clearly saw that when Yen Ruming looked at the mysterious young master, her eyes were filled with surprise, and then a trace of resentment. When Yen Ruming treated him, her eyes were always cold, and she kept a certain distance. Could it be that she and that man? Young Master Fuyun's face was not very good. Could it be that the goddess in his heart had already been used by that man? This could be seen from Yen Ruming's resentful eyes. She was simply like a little resentful woman who had been abandoned. Who cares what relationship he has, he will die today anyway, young Master Fuyun thought in his heart. It was impossible for that mysterious man to escape the hands of the Flame Snake General. Beside him, the rest of the experts of the business alliance of 10,000 clans had a trace of doubt in their eyes. They vaguely thought of someone, but they were not sure. On this side, in addition to Jun Xiaoyao, Fairy Yuan and Tang Jade Hair also appeared. Half-step Great Sage? Fairy Yuan's beautiful eyes showed a touch of surprise. As Yen Ruming saw this young girl who was as beautiful as a fairy, her eyes filled with hidden bitterness. This guy, there was no shortage of girls wherever he went. Yen Ruming, you don't look too good, Jun Xiaoyao chuckled. Seeing this, Yen Ruming gritted her teeth. She really wanted to bite Jun Xiaoyao. How could he still laugh at a time like this? However, when she thought about the fact that Jun Xiaoyao had shown up to save her, she realized that Jun Xiaoyao had shown up to save her. Yen Ruming's face turned slightly red. But what she didn't know, Jun Xiaoyao was just passing by. If the Flame Snake General had not casually launched that attack, how could he have noticed them? It was even more impossible for him to stay. You're just a human boy in the Saint Realm. How could you withstand my attack? The Flame Serpent General looked at Jun Xiaoyao. His cultivation level was clearly only at the Sage Great Perfection level. Logically speaking, it should be impossible for him to withstand it. It's just luck. I'm just passing by. Can I leave now? Jun Xiaoyao said lightly. Tisk, you're still scared. In the runic magic world? Young Master Floating Cloud could not help but snicker. Yen Ruming then remembered that no matter how strong Jun Xiaoyao was, he was only invincible among the younger generation. However, the Flame Serpent General was not part of the younger generation. He was a half-step Supreme Sage powerhouse. Someone like that? Even if an outlawed Sky Pride encountered him, the outcome would be unpredictable. Hurry up and leave. You're no match for him. Yen Ruming yelled. You want to leave? What do you think? The Flame Serpent General sneered and turned to look at Fairy Maiden Yuan and Tang Jade Hair, who were beside Jun Xiaoyao. Fairy Maiden Yuan was wearing a bluish-white gauze dress. Her figure was graceful and beautiful, and her legs were long and slender. Her entire person was extraordinarily charming, lovely and moving. Tang Jade Hair was in her human form. She also had bright eyes and white teeth. She was so adorable that one would feel pity for her. I'm so lucky today to meet 3 of them at once. The Flame Serpent General smiled evilly. Fairy Maiden Yuan's gaze was cold, and a murderous intent flashed across her beautiful eyes. She might be seductive and flirtatious when facing Jun Xiaoyao. However, she was as cold as frost when facing others. The Flame Serpent General's gaze made her murderous intent surge. Do you really think you're that great? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head and said. Even when facing a half-step supreme sage like the Flame Serpent General, he still treated him with a condescending attitude. How dare you! Before the Flame Serpent General could get angry, Mo Tuo, the Snake Men's Sky Pride, shouted angrily. He channeled the dermic powers in his body and attacked. Jun Xiaoyao did not even look at him. With a snap of his fingers, Sword Qi shot up into the sky and swept through the galaxy. The Sword Qi of the immortal slaughtering sword technique spread out like a long river and instantly drowned Mo Tuo. Splat! Blood spurted out. Mo Tuo's body was instantly torn into pieces and then minced by the Sword Qi. His primordial spirit was also destroyed. In the blink of an eye, a Sky Pride had fallen. This scene was so sudden that even the Flame Serpent General could not react in time. Even if Mo Tuo could withstand 1 or 2 attacks, he could intervene. However, there was no chance. Mo Tuo was instantly killed in one move. This young Master Fuyun's expression was also a little sluggish. Mo Tuo's strength was above his, and he was almost suppressing a giant Sky Pride like him. However, he was now killed by the mysterious young man with a snap of his fingers. An outlawed Sky Pride? Young Master Fuyun was surprised. That's right, it really is that person. Some of the masters from the Business Alliance of 10,000 Tribes exclaimed. Who is he? Young Master Fuyun asked subconsciously. Don't you know, young master? That young man should be the legendary Eternal Taboo, the son of God of the Jun family, said a master from the Business Alliance of 10,000 Tribes. What, he's the Eternal Taboo, Jun Xiaoyao? Young Master Fuyun's eyes trembled, and he was extremely shocked. This was definitely a lofty figure who had created countless legends. No wonder Yen Ruming had that expression. Young Master Fuyun's tone was sour and jealous. If it was Jun Xiaoyao, then Yen Ruming's attitude was reasonable. Goddesses were only aloof to ordinary people. Even goddesses could only kneel and lick the boots of those with lofty statuses. So what if it's Jun Xiaoyao? Even if he's heaven-defying, it'll be good enough if he can escape from an ordinary Sage King. But this Flaming Snake General is a full-fledged Sage King, and has even reached the half-step Supreme Sage realm. This is not something the younger generation can compete with, young Master Fuyun thought to himself. He was actually hoping that Flaming Snake General could kill Jun Xiaoyao. After all, Jun Xiaoyao was too outstanding, and he was extremely envious. Kid, how dare you kill in front of me, you're courting death. Flaming Snake General raised his hand and death blaze surged. The fire of law overflowed, turning into a giant hand of death blaze, and pressed down on Jun Xiaoyao. The giant hand was like a burning sky, and it fell down. It could be said that no sage could withstand this attack, and their body would be smashed and burned to ashes. Jun Xiaoyao, be careful. Yen Ruming couldn't help but change her expression. Young Master Jun. Fairy Maiden Yuan's pretty face also changed, and Tying Jade Hair also exclaimed. This wasn't a fight between peers, but the older generation's powerhouses using their realm to suppress others. Who in the younger generation could stop the cultivation of a half-step Supreme Sage? Get out of the way. Jun Xiaoyao pushed Fairy Maiden Yuan and Tying Jade Hair away with one hand. There was no fear in his eyes, but a hint of fighting spirit. It was boring to be invincible among the younger generation for a long time. He was very curious whether he could fight with the older generation's powerhouses now. Chapter 624. Jun Xiaoyao was not blindly confident. One had to know that he had never really used his full strength. Even in the Emperor Road battle with Yiguchen, Jun Xiaoyao had hidden a lot and did not use much of his strength at all. It could even be said that no one in the younger generation could make Jun Xiaoyao use his full strength. Jun Xiaoyao's strength had exceeded the limit of his age. After condensing a total of 9 strands of immortal qi, Jun Xiaoyao's strength had reached a certain extreme. He was very curious about how strong his true strength was now. The flame snake general's hellfire palm fell and covered Jun Xiaoyao. The whole place was dead silent. Yan Ruming's beautiful eyes widened, and her eyes trembled. Master! Tang Jade Hair called out anxiously. Even Fairy Yuan's heart was beating violently. If they were facing ordinary sky prides, they did not have to worry at all. They just had to sit and watch Jun Xiaoyao destroy the enemy. But this time, Jun Xiaoyao's opponent was a half-step great sage. The difference between a full-fledged saint and a half-step great sage was like heaven and earth. As expected, even if it's an eternal taboo, in the face of absolute strength, everything is empty talk. Young Master Fuyun sneered. He had wanted to see Jun Xiaoyao fall with his own eyes before. Now that he had seen it, he could leave safely. Let's go, they are hopeless. Young Master Fuyun controlled the runic magic boundary and turned to leave. However, the other members of the business alliance of 10,000 races in the runic magic boundary were dumbfounded, frozen in place. How did you? Young Master Fuyun raised his eyebrows. No, this is absolutely impossible. How could it be? All the members of the business alliance of 10,000 races seemed to have seen the most incredible scene. Everyone's face was full of shock. Young Master Fuyun was suspicious. When he turned around to look, his body suddenly froze, his eyes widened, and he was shocked speechless. Jun Xiaoyao's body shone with golden light, and the power of laws surged. An immemorial divine elephant's true form burst out from behind him. It threw its head back and roared, causing the sun, moon, and stars to fall from the sky. The palm of hellfire was shattered by the primordial god Mamatha's true form. Jun Xiaoyao himself was still standing with his hands behind his back, his white robes fluttering in the wind. He was incomparably calm. This scene was beyond everyone's expectations. Even the Naga tribe was dumbfounded. They were so shocked that their divine souls trembled. A perfected saint? He had actually blocked the attack of a half-step great sage. And the most ridiculous thing was? He didn't seem to be in a sorry state at all. He was still as transcendent as ever. How could this be? The Flame Snake General was also stunned. At a certain moment, he even suspected that the young man in front of him was pretending to be weak and was actually hiding his cultivation. But no matter how much he tried to sense it, Jun Xiaoyao was indeed only a sage at the great perfection level. This was simply inconceivable. The heavenly maiden kite and the Tang Jade Hair both breathed a sigh of relief. Yan Ruming couldn't help but show surprise in her eyes after a brief moment of astonishment. Jun Xiaoyao? He was always the one who created miracles. You can actually block my attack? The Flame Snake General didn't panic after his attack failed. He just felt a little embarrassed. What if the other 3 generals knew? He couldn't kill a saint with one move? They would probably laugh their heads off. Cultivation level doesn't represent true strength. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep. Immortal will surged on his body, and golden light shone brightly. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't stupid. Facing a half-step great sage? He still needed to be cautious. He couldn't be careless. Jun Xiaoyao activated the immortal body of the great all-embracing heaven. His bones shone with golden light, and ancient and mysterious runes flowed on them. An immortal and indestructible will flowed. At the same time, Jun Xiaoyao also strengthened the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant with the power of 100,000 divine elephants. The power of 100,000 ancient divine elephants combined was far more than 10 billion pounds of divine force. It could break space and shatter stars with a single hand. Again. This time, Jun Xiaoyao actually took the initiative to attack. The Kuan Pring Infinite Divine Fist blasted out, and the runes in the void were as vast as the ocean. The power of laws intertwined and turned into a Kuan Pung leaping into the sea. As the fist blasted out, the void in front of it collapsed. "How dare you!" Seeing Jun Xiaoyao take the initiative to attack him, the Flame Snake General's face darkened, and he shouted coldly. This was undoubtedly contempt for him, a half-step great sage. The Flame Snake General also attacked with his palm. Death flames surged into the sky, and the laws surged. The difference between a Saint King and a saint was that they had reached an extremely profound level in the use of law runes. Dao runes intertwined with every move. That level of proficiency and power was far from what a saint could compare to. The Flame Snake General's palm collided with Jun Xiaoyao's Kuan Pung divine fist. Bang! It was as if a clap of thunder had exploded in the chaos. The power of laws spread like ripples. Just the aftershock alone could injure a saint. Everyone around retreated, fearing that they would be affected. In the violent collision, Jun Xiaoyao's white clothes fluttered. He felt the powerful power of laws of a half-step great sage surging toward him. If it were an ordinary saint, his body would have been crushed to pieces long ago, and not even his bones would be left. However, Jun Xiaoyao's physique was monstrous. The sacred body of the ancients, the Daluo immortal body, had also been tempered by the qi of all creation, and had the potential to become an emperor with a physical body. This level of physical body was unparalleled since ancient times. Not to mention a half-step great sage, even a true great sage would not be able to crush Jun Xiaoyao's physical body. On the other hand, the Flame Serpent General felt a terrifying and boundless divine power smashing toward him. It was as if 100,000 archaic divine elephants were crushing him. It could be said that even a great sage who specialized in physical body cultivation could not have the divine power of Jun Xiaoyao in terms of strength alone. After the collision, Jun Xiaoyao's figure retreated a few steps. The Flame Snake General retreated dozens of steps. His palm was numb and trembling slightly. There were faint cracks in his arm bones. It could be said that if they were in the same realm, the Flame Snake General had no doubt that half of his body would be crushed. Where did this little monster come from? Is he the descendant of the true dragon, the ancient queen? The Flame Snake General was a little shocked. This blow also stunned everyone. Jun Xiaoyao was actually tied with a half-step great sage. Even the Flame Snake General was slightly weaker. This was outrageous. Young Master Floating Cloud's mind buzzed. His whole body seemed to be petrified and lost his soul. If this scene were to spread, it would be enough to shock the entire ancient road. Not bad. You can keep your physical body intact after taking a punch from me, as expected of a half-step great sage. Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly, and his eyes were filled with fighting spirit. It was refreshing to hit a punching bag that could withstand a beating. Otherwise, it would be boring to kill with one punch. You little monster, do you really think I can't subdue you? The Flame Snake General's face was gloomy. How could he not see that Jun Xiaoyao was using him as a whetstone? The killing intent in the Flame Snake General's heart was bursting. No matter what Jun Xiaoyao's background was, he had to kill him. Sky Snake Secret Manual. The Flame Snake General activated the strongest technique cultivated by the Snake Men. He wanted to display the true power of a half-step great sage and kill Jun Xiaoyao in an instant. Behind him, countless fire snakes emerged. His magic power imprisoned the surrounding stars, turning them into a furnace of hell. This was one of his terrifying abilities, the Myriad Snake World Incineration Furnace. If a Saint King expert fell into it, they would die without a doubt. Using this move to kill a saint was like using a butcher's knife to kill a chicken. Chapter 625. Tens of thousands of fire snakes rushed out from behind the Flame Snake General. They intertwined with each other and turned into a furnace that could burn the world. This was an extreme move. Countless scarlet symbols curled about in flames as they engraved themselves into the heavens. The laws intertwined and imprisoned Jun Xiaoyao within. What surprised the Flame Snake General was that Jun Xiaoyao had no intention of dodging at all. On the surface of his body, a blood-red divine qi mixed with gold appeared. It was the divine qi of the physical body. This move is just scratching an itch. Jun Xiaoyao chuckled. His body was branded with countless runes. His qi and blood were vigorous, like a blood dragon that pierced through the galaxy. At the same time, there was an immortal and indestructible will flowing. The sacred body of the ancients, the Daluo immortal celestial body, and the divine qi of the physical body. Jun Xiaoyao's body was almost immortal. Wanting to incinerate his fleshly body with this move was undoubtedly a fantasy. The Flame Snake General's face became even more gloomy. Jun Xiaoyao's body was like the shell of a black tortoise that could not be damaged at all. Even though he was an entire realm higher than Jun Xiaoyao, the Flame Snake General still found it difficult to deal with. Next, it's my turn. On the surface of Jun Xiaoyao's body, another divine qi appeared. It was filled with the will of reincarnation. It was the reincarnation divine qi. Jun Xiaoyao punched out. His arm was wrapped with the reincarnation divine qi, and he performed the 6 paths of reincarnation fist at the same time. With the support of the reincarnation divine qi, the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation fist was even stronger. It was as if there were 6 worlds of reincarnation that were blasted out with his fist. All living things in the world would be pulled into the cycle of reincarnation. This punch caused the void to explode. The snake incinerating cauldron was directly blown apart by Jun Xiaoyao's punch. Everyone around felt their hearts tremble when they saw how ferocious and straightforward Jun Xiaoyao's move was. Jun Xiaoyao's combat strength had far exceeded his own realm. He's stronger than before. Yan Ruming was also a little stunned. Then, a look of joy appeared on her face. She saw hope. Jun Xiaoyao executed the Kuan Ping steps and arrived in front of the Flame Snake General in an instant. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist blasted out fiercely, and the remaining shock waves shattered countless stars in the surroundings. The sacred body of the ancients was good at close combat, so Jun Xiaoyao would naturally give full play to his strength. The Flame Snake Great General also made his move. It had to be said that as a half-step great sage, the Flame Serpent General's strength was without a doubt. This was Jun Xiaoyao's first time? It was impossible to crush the enemy with absolute superiority. Of course, the two of them were not from the same generation, so there was no comparison at all. You must know? If it were any other young prodigy, let alone fighting against the Flame Serpent General, being able to withstand 2 or 3 moves from him was already considered not bad. Do you really think I can't deal with you? Seeing Jun Xiaoyao being so arrogant, he actually took the initiative to beat him up? The Flame Snake General was enraged. Did he use his natal supreme weapon, the Fire Serpent Spear? It stabbed towards Jun Xiaoyao. The Fire Serpent Spear seemed to have turned into a world-burning fire serpent, and countless laws swept over like a wave. Jun Xiaoyao also took out the Myriad Qi Cauldron. The 3-legged, 2-handled bronze cauldron carried a desolate aura, and the myriad qi within the cauldron rolled and surrendered. That's myriad qi. The Flame Snake Great General's eyes flashed. It was the rarest thing in the world. It was one of the most extreme energies, whether it was used to temper the body or cultivate. It was an excellent material for refining weapons. The Flame Snake Great General smiled, thinking that Jun Xiaoyao was really his god of fortune. Not only did he give him beauties, but now he even wanted to give him treasures. You want my myriad qi cauldron? Do you think you can take it? Seeing the greed in the Flame Snake Great General's eyes, Jun Xiaoyao said coldly. Countless Dao patterns flowed on the myriad qi cauldron, and the divine sound of ancient ancestors worshipping and offering sacrifices bloomed. The cauldron collided with the Fire Serpent Spear, bursting out a shocking sound and sparks. Some cracks actually appeared on the surface of the Fire Serpent Spear. Because it was a life weapon, the Fire Serpent Spear was damaged. The flame snake great general's body also shook, and his aura was slightly chaotic. However, his eyes shone even brighter, and they were filled with greed. This cauldron has the qualifications to be an emperor weapon. Thinking of this, the flame snake great general attacked again. Divine chains of laws burst out from his body, wanting to completely confine and strangle Jun Xiaoyao. After reaching the Saint King realm, one could condense divine chains of laws with a raise of their hand, penetrate the void, and kill all enemies. Jun Xiaoyao activated the Kuanping Great Mystique, the Thunder Emperor Great Mystique, and 6 other mystiques to control the 6 paths of reincarnation fist. At the same time, a total of 6 strands of immortal qi appeared on the surface of his body, like 6 true dragons, surrounding and protecting his sacred body. 6 strands of immortal qi. Young Master Fuyun and the others were dumbfounded. Even if he was a giant prodigy, he had only condensed 2 strands of immortal qi so far. 6 strands of immortal qi, it was simply unimaginable. 6 strands of immortal qi, he is indeed a little monster. The flame snake great general's gaze also focused, and there was still lingering fear in his heart. If he didn't rely on his age and high cultivation level, he wouldn't be a match for Jun Xiaoyao at all. Jun Xiaoyao used the 6 paths of reincarnation fist to control 6 types of mystiques and augment them with 6 strands of immortal qi. The power was simply enough to shatter the heavens and the universe. An ancient planet with life could be punched through by Jun Xiaoyao with one punch. Rumble! All the divine chains of laws were destroyed by Jun Xiaoyao's punch. Then, Jun Xiaoyao's other hand activated the 3rd seal of the Immortal Prohibition Seal. The surrounding void flowed with sealing runes, turning into a cage. "You want to imprison me? You are too naive," the Flame Snake Great General said coldly. In a moment, he would be able to break out of the seal. A moment is enough. Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly. For some reason, the Flame Snake Great General's heart skipped a beat when he saw Jun Xiaoyao's smile and felt that something was wrong. Jun Xiaoyao activated the Myriad Qi Cauldron, and the Myriad Qi in the cauldron rolled. A terrifying force that could crush the heavens erupted from the Myriad Qi Cauldron and directly suppressed the Flame Snake Great General. Then, Jun Xiaoyao activated the Sacred Body Phenomenon. The 1,000 saints worshipping and the immortal king descends to the 9 heavens were activated at the same time. Thousands of sacred shadows appeared in the surrounding void and worshipped Jun Xiaoyao. Behind Jun Xiaoyao, an incomparably majestic figure of a supreme immortal king whose aura soared through the galaxy appeared. The will of life and death flowed in Jun Xiaoyao's hands, and 2 incomparably huge Dharma wheels condensed in the void. As the Dharma wheels spun, it was as if billions of beings were dying and being reborn. Kill! A shocking sound came from Jun Xiaoyao's hands as he used many techniques at the same time. The Flame Snake Great General also felt a life and death crisis. He looked up to the sky and laughed, fully unleashing the strength of a half-step Supreme Saint. But there was the 3rd seal around him. Although it couldn't completely trap him, it was enough to delay him for 15 minutes. The Myriad Qi Cauldron with hundreds of millions of tons of power fell. The Flame Snake Great General's Fire Snake Great General's Fire Snake Spear was almost instantly crushed into pieces of metal. Half of the Flame Snake Great General's body was also crushed and blood spurted out. The intense pain made the Flame Snake Great General's eyes bulge, and he let out a long cry that shook the galaxy. Jun Xiaoyao's face was as cold as ice as he activated the Wheel of Life and Death. At this moment, he was like a supreme immortal king who ruled over life and death. The 1,000 saints worshipping phenomenon could suppress the Flame Snake Great General's energy and strength. The immortal king descends to the 9 heavens was strengthened by an extreme Tao art, which made Jun Xiaoyao's Wheel of Life and Death several times more powerful. In addition, there were 6 streams of deity qi. This move was enough to destroy the world. The Flame Snake Great General was already half dead after being shocked by the Myriad Qi Cauldron. Under this move, His physical body was completely shattered, exploding into a mist of blood. A flame snake great general's primordial spirit let out a sharp cry and tried to escape. Jun Xiaoyao activated the 3 lives primordial spirit, and terrifying soul power spread out. A Virokana formed entirely of primordial spirit power came crashing down. Boom! The flame snake great general's primordial spirit was terrified and let out a sharp cry. But it was still directly destroyed by the Virokana. The half-step supreme Saint Flame Snake Great General had fallen. Chapter 6:26. In the starry sky, blood mist was drifting. Some incomplete law divine chains were dimming and losing their brilliance. That was the law power that belonged to the Flame Snake General, and it was beginning to dissipate from the world. It also represented the complete death of a half-step great sage. Above the stars, only Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. His white robes were still spotless, and he still looked peerless. There were no obvious traces of injuries on his body. Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face was as calm as an ancient well. There was no complacency, and he was very calm. But what he had done was enough to shake the entire ancient ultimate road. As a sage, he had defied the heavens and killed a half-step great sage. This was absolutely shocking. Everyone present, whether it was Fairy Yuan, Yen Ruming, or Tying Jade Hair, young Master Floating Cloud, the experts of the Commerce Alliance, or the Naga race, they were all stunned and stupefied, unable to make a sound for a long time. The entire starry sky was dead silent. After a long time, there was a commotion from the Naga race. Those Naga warriors were incomparably shocked, and they were so frightened that their scalps went numb. That handsome figure in white was no different from a demon in their eyes. He had killed Emo Tua with a snap of his fingers, and now he had even killed the Flame Snake General. He's not human. Monster, he's a monster. Thousands of Naga warriors were so frightened that their minds were about to collapse. The invincible Flame Snake General in their hearts had actually died at the hands of a young man. This simply overturned their view of the strong. Looking at those fleeing Naga, Jun Xiaoyao casually flicked his finger, and sword chi burst forth. The thousands of serpent men warriors were all killed within a few breaths. If Bai Ling saw that the great philanthropist in her heart had casually slaughtered her people, who knew how she would feel? Unfortunately, Bai Ling's perception was sealed by Jun Xiaoyao's 3rd seal, and it was impossible for her to detect the outside world. Eternal taboo, heaven-defying slaying a half-step great sage. Fairy Yuan's chest rose and fell, and she was also shocked. An anomaly was an anomaly, and it could not be understood by common sense. Young master, you're too awesome. The Tying Jade Hair was so excited that it jumped 3 feet into the air. Even its rabbit ears were erect. Jun Xiaoyao was so powerful that it would be easy for him to deal with the 10 princes of Jinwu. In Yen Ruming's beautiful eyes? Similarly, they couldn't help but feel amazed. Jun Xiaoyao's heaven-defying performance was simply indescribable. And on the other side, Sir Floating Cloud and the others were already silent? Crestfallen, he prepared to leave quietly. Where do you want to go? Jun Xiaoyao looked at them indifferently. He was not deaf. Young Master Floating Cloud's mocking words from before? It wasn't that he didn't hear it. What happened to you before? Can you tell me? Jun Xiaoyao turned to look at Yen Ruming. Yen Ruming also gave a simple summary of what had happened before, including the matter of young Master Floating Cloud kicking her out. What's the point of keeping such a person alive? After Jun Xiaoyao heard what he said, with a casual outstretched palm, 6 strands of immortal qi wrapped around it, it directly pressed down on young Master Floating Cloud. That runic magic boundary that was enough to resist the Flame Snake General? But it couldn't block Jun Xiaoyao's attack. The entire runic magic boundary was obliterated by Jun Xiaoyao's palm. Jun Xiaoyao? Wait, my father is... Young Master Floating Cloud's face was filled with horror as he cried out involuntarily. Who cares who your father is? Jun Xiaoyao slapped down with his palm. Young Master Floating Cloud's body and primordial spirit were smashed into bloody foam. The other experts of the business alliance of 10,000 clans around were all trembling. Jun Xiaoyao killed the son of a big shot of the business alliance of 10,000 clans? He didn't even blink. They were afraid that Jun Xiaoyao would also silence them. You guys go, just say that this person was killed by me, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. Young Master Jun saved our lives? Can't we be grateful? We won't tell anyone. One of the experts of the business alliance of 10,000 clans cupped his hands and said. They all had a tacit understanding to say that young Master Floating Cloud was killed by the Naga tribe. Jun Xiaoyao didn't comment. He didn't even care about the entire business alliance of 10,000 clans. He wouldn't care about the people behind young Master Floating Cloud. The experts of the business alliance of 10,000 clans thanked him profusely and left. Jun Xiaoyao turned to Yen Ruming and said, "Let's get on the ship and talk." Yen Ruming nodded slightly. For some reason, she looked at Jun Xiaoyao and blushed. The group boarded the ship and continued to sail toward the ancient underworld star. On the other side, the other 3 generals of the Naga tribe all sensed that the Flame Snake General had died. The Flame Snake General's aura is gone. Who killed him? Could it be the executors of the ancient road? Impossible. We have spies around the ancient underworld star system. The executors of the ancient underworld star system couldn't have come here in a short time. Could it be one of those geniuses who came here to train? How is that possible? Unless the Flame Snake General was ambushed. That's possible. Forget it. Right now, the Queen's plan is more important. Most of those geniuses from the ancient road must have been attracted by the Temple of Doom. That place will be their burial ground. Powerful divine wills conversed in the void. Because of the Temple of Doom, the entire ancient underworld star system was very lively. Many geniuses from the ancient road, as well as other factions, and even races from other ancient planets, had come. They had only one goal in mind, and that was the Temple of Doom. Of course, with so many invaders, it was only natural that they would come into conflict with the Naga tribe. In another planetary system, a group of human geniuses from the ancient road was fighting a bloody battle with the Naga warriors. At that moment, Buddhist light shone in the distance, and a young monk sitting cross-legged on a jade-white lion leisurely approached. He was very handsome and dignified, with golden Buddhist rings behind his head that emanated an aura of great light, great wisdom, and great compassion. Great samsara Zen light. A ring of golden Buddhist light spread out from between the young monk's eyebrows. The Naga tribe members who were bloodthirsty stopped what they were doing, and their expressions became wooden. Then, they became calm and peaceful. It's the Western sect's taboo disciple, Brahma. Many geniuses could not help but exclaim when they saw the young monk. He was definitely an extremely powerful existence among the taboo disciples. Brahma's expression was calm as he looked at the ancient underworld star in the distance. The Temple of Doom has great karma and great opportunities, Brahma muttered. Brahma muttered to himself as he rode the jade-white lion away. On the other side, an ancient warship was crossing the battlefield in the ancient underworld star system. A red-clothed man with a powerful aura was standing on it. His hair fluttered in the wind, and his posture was vigorous. The most eye-catching thing was that his right arm was actually made of metal. It had been refined into a supreme artifact. Lord Saint, we're not far from the ancient underworld star. A follower cupped his hands respectfully. The fortuitous opportunity in the Temple of Doom is mine. Also, I heard that Jun Xiaoyao might come. The disciple of the Baron sect of the Gulan sect died because of him. We still have to settle the score, the red-clothed man murmured. He was the saint of the Gulan sect. The Gulan sect had 8 sects: Heaven, Earth, Xian, Huang, Yu, Zhou, Hong, and Huang. The sect in the Huangtian mystic realm was only the Baron sect of the 8 sects of the Gulan sect. The disciple of the sect was only the Baron sect's saint. The red-clothed man in front of him was the saint of the Hong sect. In another dark part of the starry sky, 4 black-robed figures appeared. We just need to go to the Temple of Doom and wait for him. Jun Xiaoyao will come. The fact that the 4 of us have to work together to ambush him is a show of strength for Jun Xiaoyao. Hee. Once our boss refines the supreme bone and the sacred body of the ancients, no one in the 9 heavens mystic realm will be our match. 4 sinister snake-like voices laughed coldly and then disappeared into the void. In the starry sky, a magnificent crystal flying ship was traveling. What was strange was that the surrounding Naga tribe did not attack the flying ship when they saw it coming from the outside world. 2 figures stood on the flying ship. One of them was a charming woman in a red dress. She was Hu Qingqing. Beside her stood a young man with a valiant appearance. The young man's face was as three-dimensional as a sculpture. His hair was sparkling like crystals. The most bizarre thing was that his body seemed to be made of flesh and blood, but it also seemed to be made of jade. It was glowing like an indestructible treasure. Around him, 9 vortexes appeared in the void, continuously absorbing the essence of the world. This person did not need to cultivate deliberately. The 9 vortexes were constantly absorbing the essence of the world. His aura was also rising slightly at every moment. He was like a child blessed by the heavens. He was the innate sacred spirit from the sacred spirit island, known to be invincible among her peers, Mo Jinyu. Chapter 6:27. At this moment Mo Jinyu, the innate Holy Spirit of the Holy Spirit Island, had a cold and indifferent expression on his face. I'd like to see if Jun Xiaoyao dares to come to the Temple of Doom. Mo Jinyu's tone was very cold. Jun Xiaoyao had killed his follower, the sky-reaching rock spirit, and refined it in front of everyone at the auction. He did not take him seriously at all. Even though Jun Xiaoyao had a powerful background and was very powerful, he was still a nobody. However, Mo Jinyu did not care. He came from the Holy Spirit Island, an immortal power that could not be offended. In addition, the Holy Spirit tribe was blessed by the heavens. Every one of them was invincible among their peers. Therefore, Mo Jinyu was not afraid of Jun Xiaoyao. He even had the intention to settle the score with him. With the Holy Spirit tribe's invincibility among their peers, it would not be difficult for young Master Mo to deal with Jun Xiaoyao. Hu Qingqing smiled and flattered him. She did not think that Mo Jinyu could easily deal with Jun Xiaoyao. However, she still had to say what she had to say. Not to mention that Jun Xiaoyao is a great perfection saint. Even if he is a saint king, I would not care. With my current strength, even if I face a late saint king expert, I can still escape easily. Mo Jinyu's tone was calm, but there was a hint of arrogance in it. After reaching the saint stage, it was very difficult to fight someone of a higher level. However, the Holy Spirit tribe could do it. Hearing this, Hu Qingqing took a deep breath. Her full breasts rose and fell. She exclaimed, "With young Master Mo's cultivation at the Great Perfection Saint stage, you can actually escape from a late stage Saint King. As expected of the Holy Spirit tribe." Hearing Hu Qingqing's flattery, Mo Jinyu smiled faintly and did not say anything. However, if they knew that Jun Xiaoyao had killed the half-step Great Saint Flaming Snake General, what would their expressions be then? That's right, the Naga tribe didn't seem to be attacking us. Hu Qingqing discovered something else. Our Holy Spirit race doesn't have any grudges with the Snake Men race. The Snake Men race wouldn't dare to provoke us, Mo Jinyu said. The Naga tribe had a deep grudge against the human tribe and other races. They would attack the human tribe whenever they saw them. However, they didn't have any grudges with the Holy Spirit clan, so they didn't dare to provoke them. Choosing young Master Mo was indeed the best decision I've ever made. Hu Qingqing smiled sweetly. Now, she felt that choosing Mo Jinyu was not a bad choice. At the very least, he wouldn't be stopped on his way to the Temple of Doom. She believed that Jun Xiaoyao and Fairy Yuan would be attacked before they even reached the Temple of Doom. However, that was indeed the case. The starship that Jun Xiaoyao and the others were on was indeed attacked a few times when they were heading to the Temple of Doom on the ancient heavenly underworld star. However, Jun Xiaoyao was there. He didn't even show himself. All he did was set up a killing formation outside the flying boat. All the attacking Nagas were killed instantly. Jun Xiaoyao and the others were sitting leisurely in the starship. "Thank you so much for this." Yan Ruming looked at Jun Xiaoyao and said sincerely. She really couldn't imagine what would have happened to her if she hadn't met Jun Xiaoyao. "It's okay," Jun Xiaoyao said. He and Yan Ruming weren't very close, but they weren't strangers after a few exchanges. It was purely a coincidence that he helped her this time. If the Flame Snake General hadn't attacked the starship that Jun Xiaoyao was on, perhaps Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't have noticed Yan Ruming at all. "No matter what, I owe you one," Yan Ruming said. "Oh, then what are you going to pay me back with?" Jun Xiaoyao asked casually as he sat on the armchair. Hearing this, Yan Ruming seemed to have thought of something. A faint blush suddenly appeared on her beautiful and perfect face. Then, she suddenly moved. She twisted her waist and swept her leg towards Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand in an instant and grabbed Yan Rumeng's delicate calf. He said with a hint of surprise, "What are you? Do you still remember the first time we met?" Yan Ruming suddenly asked faintly. Jun Xiaoyao naturally remembered. That was in the lower realms. They were still on opposite sides. Jun Xiaoyao had done the same thing back then, grabbing her calf and asking her what her true form was. At that time, Yan Ruming still thought that Jun Xiaoyao was a devil. Who would have thought that the two of them would have such a relationship with each other as time passed? "Is it enough to repay me with my body?" Yan Ruming suddenly bit her plump and moist red lips. It was unknown whether she was serious or just joking. Jun Xiaoyao was stunned. Then, he smiled and shook his head. "To be honest, it's not very attractive." "You?" Yan Ruming blushed. Then, she charmingly rolled her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao. "You wish. I was just joking. Don't take it seriously." Although Yan Ruming said so, a trace of undetectable sadness flashed in her eyes. Jun Xiaoyao saw this and did not say anything. Instead, he pinched Yan Ruming's leg and smiled faintly. "By the way, I've always had a question. What is your true form?" This question, Yan Rumeng had never answered him. Asking the true form of a demon was like asking a girl's age. It was a taboo. With such a pair of slender and beautiful legs, your true form can't be a crane, right? Jun Xiaoyao guessed. Yan Ruming glared at Jun Xiaoyao and said coquettishly, "You're the crane. My true form is the Skydream Bewildering Butterfly." Jun Xiaoyao revealed a trace of surprise. He had heard of the Skydream Bewildering Butterfly. It was an extremely powerful creature. It was rumored that in ancient times, there was a Skydream Bewildering Butterfly. With a flap of its wings, all the creatures in the entire ancient planet of life fell into an illusion, unable to extricate themselves. This was definitely an extremely powerful creature that controlled the path of illusion. It was no wonder that Yan Ruming's name had the word dream in it. If the Skydream Bewildering Butterfly matured, it would definitely be an extremely powerful demon emperor. Thinking about it this way, it was understandable that Yan Ruming had a demon emperor body. But why do I feel that you haven't manifested the Skydream Bewildering Butterfly's ability? Jun Xiaoyao was puzzled. That's because I haven't fully awakened. I need an extremely powerful bloodline as a primer, Yan Ruming said truthfully. Then, she glanced at Jun Xiaoyao and said, "Why don't you give me a few drops of blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients?" "You're thinking too much," Jun Xiaoyao said decisively. The blood essence of the sacred body of the ancients was not cabbage. Jun Xiaoyao condensed it would be harmful to his body. The blood essence he obtained from the auction was also useful to him. There was no way he would give it to Yan Ruming. However, after knowing that Yan Ruming's true form was the Skydream Bewildering Butterfly, Jun Xiaoyao had the intention to rope her in. "Do you want to abandon the Demon God Palace and join my Emperor's court?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. If you can conquer the little demon empress, the entire demon god palace can join your emperor's court, Yan Ruming said. Then, she took a deep look at Jun Xiaoyao and said, Of course, if you can help me find an extremely powerful bloodline to awaken, it's not impossible for me to join. Her original intention wasn't to join the emperor's court. She also didn't want to obtain an extremely powerful bloodline as a primer. Instead, she wanted to be closer to this man that made her angry but also made her unable to let go. Chapter 628. After hearing Yan Ruming's words, Jun Xiaoyao thought for a moment and nodded slightly. Okay. Although he couldn't give the sacred body of the ancient's blood essence to Yan Ruming. But don't forget that Bai Ling's bloodline was also the most powerful bloodline. Jun Xiaoyao figured that the ancient bloodline was definitely above that of a quasi-emperor. Using this bloodline to awaken Yan Ruming was enough. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't extract Bai Ling's bloodline. He wasn't that crazy. Jun Xiaoyao was thinking about the secrets of the Temple of Doom. A few days later, the starship that Jun Xiaoyao and the others were on finally arrived at the ancient underworld star. Looking around, the entire ancient underworld star was dark blue. This was the ancestral planet of the Naga tribe on the ancient road. Jun Xiaoyao and the others left the starship and looked at the ancient planet. Something's not right, Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. He could see that many geniuses from the ancient road and various forces had come to the ancient underworld star to get a share of the pie. But the other 3 generals of the Naga tribe didn't appear. Only the Naga tribe warriors were fighting with the geniuses. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao could also feel that there was a very scary aura in the direction of the Temple of Doom. It reminded him of a strange energy that he had come into contact with before. Anyway, let's go to the Temple of Doom first. Jun Xiaoyao, Tian Nyu Yuan, Yen Ruyu, and Tying Jade Hair landed on the ancient underworld star. On the ancient underworld star, on a vast and desolate continent, there was a continuous stretch of temples in the middle of it. The Temple of Doom was not just an ancient temple, but an ancient ruin. Thick gray fog filled the air, making it impossible to see the inside of the Temple of Doom. Around the Temple of Doom, there were fragmented seals and killing formations that appeared and disappeared from time to time. They had been left behind since ancient times. A powerful sealing force sealed the entire Temple of Doom. At this moment, outside the Temple of Doom, the sounds of fighting, shouting, and roaring intertwined. Outside the Temple of Doom, human chosen ones from the ancient road, as well as cultivators from the other sects, engaged in fierce fighting. Blood scattered across the great earth, dyeing the earth red. This was an extremely cruel battle. Kill! Kill all these despicable invaders! A serpent-men warrior roared angrily. Heh, what a joke! A mere Naga race is only fit to be a practice target. How dare they resist? A human sky pride sneered. The sounds of killing soared into the sky, lingering in the ears. On the battlefield, there was someone who attracted a lot of attention. For example, Fan Tian, the Western sex godchild, who was riding a white jade lion. Wherever he passed, the ferocious snake people race stopped fighting, as if they had been enlightened. On the other side, the holy prince of the Gulan sect, Xing Hongyi, punched out with his fist. His right arm was completely made of metal and had been refined into a supreme artifact. Every move he made could burst forth with boundless power. Of course, the ones who attracted the most attention were Mo Jinyu and Hu Qingqing. Those serpent men did not attack Mo Jinyu at all. Firstly, it was because the Holy Spirit race was too feared. Secondly, the Holy Spirit race's combat strength was invincible among their peers. Therefore, the serpent men did not even have the will to fight. The Holy Spirit Island's innate Holy Spirit. Fan Tian and Xing Hongyi both paid attention to Mo Jinyu. Even though they were taboo existences, they were still afraid of the innate Holy Spirit. Seeing that no one dared to provoke Mo Jinyu, Hu Qingqing's delicate face also showed a sincere smile of joy. Her foresight was indeed correct. At this time, Fairy Yuan and the others still haven't arrived. They must have encountered some difficulties. It seems that even if they follow the Jun family's Son of God, it won't be smooth sailing. Just as Hu Qingqing was thinking this in her heart, suddenly, the sky prides of the ancient road around the battlefield exclaimed, their faces filled with shock. In the distant sky, 4 figures descended, attracting many people's attention. They were Jun Xiaoyao, Fairy Yuan, Yen Ruming, and Taiying Jade Hair. It's the Jun family's Son of God. He really came. Some sky prides of the ancient road said with excitement. It's really them. Hu Qingqing's face suddenly turned ugly. What she thought had come true. He's the Jun family's Son of God? On the other side, Xing Hongyi of the ancient Orchid sect had a sharp look in his eyes. He has sinful karma entwined around his body. He has killed a Buddhist. Fan Tian of the Western Paradise sect frowned slightly. Beside Hu Qingqing, Mo Jinyu also looked over with a cold glint in her eyes. It was this man who had looked down on him and killed his follower. Jun Xiaoyao and the others attracted the attention of everyone in almost an instant. In the blink of an eye, a large number of Serpent-Men warriors rushed toward Jun Xiaoyao and the others. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care. He waved his hand and ripples of magic power surged. Bang! 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 The Serpent-Men warriors who rushed up instantly exploded into clouds of blood mist. Jun Xiaoyao looked at the Temple of Doom in the distance. There was a sealing force outside the temple, so he couldn't enter yet. Outside the Temple of Doom, the ground was dyed red with blood. With Jun Xiaoyao's keen divine will, he could sense that there seemed to be faint fluctuations of an array under the ground. I see. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly understood. A sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. The Serpent-Men had a good plan. But he didn't care. Jun Xiaoyao came here for the Temple of Doom. If the temple couldn't be opened, he couldn't get the opportunity inside. Jun Xiaoyao, you really dare to show up? A cold voice sounded from Mo Jinyu's mouth. His figure was slender, his posture vigorous, and his hair was sparkling and translucent. His body was like flesh and jade, with many runes flowing and emitting an eternal light. It was like a supreme treasure. Around him, 9 vortexes vaguely appeared, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth and constantly enhancing his strength. You are the 9-holed rock spirit of the sacred spirit island. Not bad. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Mo Jinyu. He didn't call Mo Jinyu by name, but called him 9-holed rock spirit. It was obvious that he was treating him as a rare divine material, not a living being. How dare you? Mo Jinyu's face darkened. No one had ever dared to treat a living being of the sacred spirit race as a material, because doing so would attract the attention of the entire sacred spirit race. No race was willing to be used as a tool. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, did not shy away from the topic. Jun Xiaoyao, you are indeed as arrogant and overbearing as the rumors say, Xing Hongyi of the Gulan sect sneered. He is. Jun Xiaoyao said. Xing Hongyi, the son of the Hong sect of the Gulan sect, Fairy Yuan whispered. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. He also knew that the Gulan sect was an extremely ancient force. It was divided into heaven, earth, black, yellow, and the 8 sects of the universe. The sect that was destroyed in the Huangtian mystic realm was actually the barren sect of the 8 sect. The son of the Gulan sect was also the son of the barren sect, Xing Hongyi. And the man in red was the son of the Hong sect, Xing Hongyi. Jun Xiaoyao didn't like the Gulan sect either. There was only coldness in his heart. He didn't forget that during the battle of the immortals in the Huangtian mystic realm, there were 3 top immortal forces from other mystic realms. One of them was the Gulan sect. That must be Fan Tian of the Western sect. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes fell on the young monk riding on the jade white lion. Among the people present, the only ones that he cared about were the 9-holed rock spirit, Xing Hongyi and Fan Tian. However, for some reason, Jun Xiaoyao's sharp consciousness could vaguely sense it. It was as if there was a cold gaze spying on him in the dark. Jun Xiaoyao, just in time. Let me end your legend of being invincible among the younger generation. Mo Jinyu was about to make a move. Her aura surged like a vast ocean. All kinds of runes imprinted in the void. It was enough to show the peerless talent of this clan. Me too. Xing Hongyi of the Gulan sect was about to make a move. However, at that moment, a cold voice sounded from the sky. Fighting among yourselves when you are on the verge of death. How sad. This voice was incomparably vast. It was like a shocking voice that shook the heavens and the earth. This aura. It's the Supreme Saint Plane. Some of the geniuses exclaimed. Chapter 629. 3 figures appeared in the void. 2 men and 1 woman. Their upper bodies were human and their lower bodies were snake tails. What shocked everyone was their strength. They were all in the Great Saint stage. These 3 Great Saint stage serpentmen were 3 of the 4 great generals of the serpentmen tribe. They were the Thunder Snake General, the Green Snake General, and the Nether Snake General, including the Flame Snake General, who had been killed by Jun Xiaoyao. The 4 of them were the strongest of the serpentmen tribe, second only to Queen Medusa. Why are the great saints of the serpentmen tribe here? According to the rules of the ancient road, these powerhouses can't attack us. Many of the sky prides of the ancient road were frightened and uneasy. In the past, when they were training on the ancient underworld star, they were afraid of the enforcers because of the rules of the ancient road. These serpentmen powerhouses couldn't attack them. But now they had appeared. Those who came didn't have good intentions. Their appearance was obviously not just for show. Mo Jinyu, Xing Hongyi, and the others also temporarily stopped attacking. At this time, the only woman among the 3 great generals, the Green Snake General, suddenly looked at Jun Xiaoyao. The Green Snake General was wearing a slender, close-fitting green soft armor. Her lower body was a green snake tail. Her hair was loose, and her snow-white face was very beautiful. She looked at Jun Xiaoyao and frowned. What does the death of the Flame Snake General have to do with you? They could vaguely sense a faint bloody aura around Jun Xiaoyao. It was the aura left by the strongest of the Serpentmen tribe. And it just so happened that the Flame Snake General had died not long ago. I killed the Flame Snake General. What's wrong? Jun Xiaoyao didn't hide anything and directly admitted it. What? The Jun family's son of God killed the Flame Snake General, one of the 4 great generals of the Serpentmen tribe? How is that possible? Although the Flame Snake General hasn't reached the Great Saint stage, he's still a half-step Great Saint. No matter how strong the Jun family's son of God is, there's no way he can defeat him. Maybe he's mistaken? Sounds of bewilderment could be heard from all around. How is it possible to kill a half-step Great Saint? Mo Jinyu sneered and shook her head. Even he could only escape from the hands of a late-stage Saint King. Killing a half-step Great Saint? He didn't even dare to think about it. This is too ridiculous. Hu Qingqing also felt that it was ridiculous. Even Great General Green Snake himself was puzzled. No matter how weak the Flame Snake General was, he wouldn't be killed by a young junior. Forget it, let's not bother about this. Anyway, they're all going to die today, General Thundersnake said with killing intent. Activate the formation. The Nether Snake General revealed a cruel smile. In the next instant, the 3 Naga generals attacked at the same time. The might of 3 great sages shook the heavens and earth. Then, an incomparably vast formation covered the entire continent. No one was able to escape from it. Myriad snake realm covering formation. The 3 great sages shouted coldly. Countless runes swirled as magical powers surged. In the void, countless runes gathered and turned into energy snakes. Each energy snake contained the power of a saint's strike. At this moment, there were hundreds of millions of energy snakes. The energy was enough to destroy the heavens and earth. It could even destroy a world. Oh no, the Naga tribe has long planned this. They used the Temple of Doom to bait us. Damn it, Aren't they afraid of angering the enforcers? All the Sky Prides panicked. There was no way they could escape from such a large formation. Don't worry, the enforcers will definitely notice the commotion here. They will come and save us. Some of the Sky Prides comforted themselves. At this moment, a vast and boundless energy beam rose from the ancestral land of the Naga race and shot into the universe. Then, with the energy beam as the origin, runes spread out like an inverted bowl, covering the ancient heavenly underworld star and the surrounding starfield. All the energy waves couldn't be transmitted out. This starfield was completely sealed. Seeing this, all the Sky Prides of the ancient road were filled with despair. How foolish! Since they've already planned this, how could they let you have a chance to survive? Thunder Snake General sneered. The Temple of Doom needs endless blood to open. Once the temple is opened, the Naga tribe will have hope of transforming, Nether Snake General said. That's right. The history of the Naga tribe being oppressed, robbed, and hunted will be a thing of the past. Green Snake General's tone was equally fanatical. This was their only hope. If they failed, the consequences would be the destruction of their entire tribe, because the enforcers of the ancient road would not let them go. Boom, boom, boom. Countless energy snakes gathered in the void. One by one, the Sky Prides of the ancient road and the cultivators of various forces exploded into a bloody mist. Each energy snake was comparable to a saint's attack. Even if they could block one or two, they couldn't block hundreds of them. Brahma of the Western Paradise raised his hand and took out a golden alms bowl. The golden alms bowl expanded in the wind and turned into a magical barrier to protect the people around him. Xinghongyi also took out a secret artifact to temporarily fend off the might of the formation. As for Mo Jinyu and Hu Qingqing, they were not attacked. Because the Saint Spirit race and the Naga tribe had no grudges, the Naga tribe did not want to provoke such a powerful race for no reason. As for Jun Xiaoyao, he was the focus of attention. There were thousands of energy snakes around him, bombarding him. This was equivalent to thousands of saints attacking at the same time. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was still indifferent. He had long expected the Naga tribe to do this, but because he had a bargaining chip in his hand, he did not panic. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and used the Thunder Emperor's great mystique. It turned into endless lightning and shattered the energy snakes around him. Although the myriad snake realm formation was terrifying, it was a real threat to his life. Unless all of the formation's energy was directed at him alone. But that was obviously impossible, because there were other Sky Prides trying their best to resist. That person is quite capable, Thunder Snake General said. I heard that he is a very powerful human Sky Pride on the ancient road. He has a strong background and an extraordinary origin, Green Snake General said. Who cares about his background? If today's plan succeeds, the Naga tribe will have nothing to fear. Nether Snake General did not care at all. As time passed, more and more Sky Prides and cultivators from the ancient road died. Blood dyed the ground red. Outside the Temple of Doom, the ancient and incomplete formation runes also began to melt. The door of the temple was finally opened. At the same time as the seal on the Temple of Doom was lifted, a boundless and terrifying aura erupted from the ancestral land of the Naga tribe in the distance. Purple light surged and formed a 10,000-foot-long purple snake in the sky. Amidst the glowing snakes, a curvaceous and alluring figure slowly approached with graceful steps. At the sight of this, all the Sky Prides within the array revealed looks of despair that they had never felt before. The strongest of the Naga tribe, a Saint Lord-level figure, Queen Medusa, had arrived. Chapter 630. Queen Medusa was a legendary Holy Lord powerhouse. She was very famous not only in the ancient heavenly underworld star zone but also in the surrounding star zone. Her fame was not limited to her strength. Her appearance was also impressive. However, no one dared to covet this cold beauty. That was because her aura was not something that ordinary men could suppress. It was also because of Queen Medusa that the entire Snake People tribe was able to survive. Otherwise, they would have long since become another destroyed race on the ancient road. In the past, there was no lack of tribes on the ancient road that were completely annihilated because of excessive killing. As for the Naga tribe, due to Queen Medusa's reputation, the prodigies of the ancient road would restrain themselves. At this moment, purple light was surging in the sky. The queen of the Naga tribe, Queen Medusa, had finally appeared. Queen Medusa was wearing a purple brocade dress. Her snow-white face was charming, her jade-like arms were tall, her red lips were bright, and her long and narrow eyes were beautiful and domineering. Her appearance was needless to say. She was like a cold and domineering elder sister. What made people gasp in amazement was her figure. Even Jun Xiaoyao was slightly surprised by the turn of events. He finally understood why Bai Ling's figure was enough to make many adult women feel ashamed of their inferiority despite her young age. It was indeed the bonus of her tribe's talent. The purple brocade dress was unable to conceal Queen Medusa's voluptuous and exquisite figure. Her undulating curves were incomparably impressive, just like a ripe peach that was about to drip water. Beneath her round and perky buttocks was a violet-scaled snake tail that was dazzling and resplendent like violet gold. To be honest, if it were not for the fact that they were in a life-and-death situation, the male prodigies present would even want to sit down and quietly admire this mountain range. When Yen Rumeng saw this scene, her jade-like nose snorted lightly and said, "Heh? Men." Fairy Maiden Yuan also stole a glance at Jun Xiaoyao and found that Jun Xiaoyao's eyes did not have much of a reaction. At most, he was stunned by Queen Medusa's domineering figure for a moment, but he quickly came back to his senses. "Greetings, Your Majesty!" Seeing Queen Medusa appear, the Snake People tribe present cried out loudly. Their eyes were filled with fanatical worship. The queen of their race was an existence that could not be blasphemed. They would only worship Queen Medusa with the attitude of worshipping God. If it weren't for Queen Medusa, their race would have been wiped out long ago. Today, all humans who come here will die a tragic death. Just like how my clansmen died tragically because of you. Queen Medusa spoke, her tone as cold as ice. At this moment, she was like a beautiful snake, emitting a biting cold and vicious killing intent. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This was what the prodigies of the ancient road owed the serpent men. What should we do? It's over. The Saint Master has arrived. What else can we do? We can only wait for death. At this moment, all the sky prides were in complete despair. Even Brahma, Xing Hongyi, and the others were frowning. Only Mo Jinyu and Hu Qingqing looked slightly calmer. The Naga clan would not attack the Holy Spirit clan. Despair gripped the hearts of all the chosen from the ancient road and all the cultivators from the various factions. An untimely voice suddenly rang out. "So you're Queen Medusa. You do have some formidable means, but can you bear the consequences?" This voice carried the indifference and coldness of someone who was in a superior position. It was as if in front of the owner of this voice, even the famous and lofty Queen Medusa could only lower her noble head. Queen Medusa narrowed her eyes slightly and looked towards the source of the voice. It was an outrageously handsome young man in a white robe. On the battlefield that was covered in broken limbs and blood, his clothes were not stained by a single speck of dust. He was as calm as an immortal. It was as if the bloody battlefield had nothing to do with him. His expression was calm too. There was no despair in him at all. Queen Medusa's eyes flickered with surprise. This young master of the human race was a little different. "It's the son of God of the Jun clan. We won't die with him around." "That's right, he has the powerful Jun clan behind him. No matter how strong Queen Medusa is, would she dare to kill the son of God of the Jun clan?" The chosen cultivators became excited after hearing Jun Xiaoyao's word. It was as if they had found their last straw of hope. Jun Xiaoyao was their savior. Only Jun Xiaoyao had the confidence to confront Queen Medusa. Senior Son of God, please save us. Please avenge us. The Son of God of the June clan is renowned across the ancient road. Why would he be afraid of the Naga clan? Even the beautiful Queen Medusa is only fit to be a bed-warming maid for the divine child of the June family. The chosen cultivators were either begging for help or fawning over June Xiaoyao. She even went so far as to say that Queen Medusa was only fit to be June Xiaoyao's bed-warming maid. Xing Hongyi's expression darkened upon seeing this. Did June Xiaoyao already have such a great reputation in the Emperor Road? Everyone believed that he could lead them out of the death trap. Mo Jinyu's expression darkened too. June Xiaoyao had even stolen his limelight. How dare you! How dare you! The three generals of the Naga clan snapped coldly after hearing the words of the chosen cultivators. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent. How could the high and mighty queen of their clan, who could not be profaned, only be fit to warm the bed of that brat? It was an insult and disrespect to the Naga clan. Queen Medusa's gorgeous face darkened too. She raised her hand and pressed it gently. The chosen cultivators who had spoken too much immediately exploded and died. The surroundings instantly fell silent. The chosen cultivators were trembling as they gathered around June Xiaoyao. Human, do you know what you're saying? Queen Medusa said coldly. June Xiaoyao stared at Queen Medusa and scanned her voluptuous Linglong's body. Queen Medusa's eyes flickered coldly. No one had ever dared to look at her so boldly. Of course I know what I'm talking about. Today, if I shed even a drop of blood, not only the Naga clan of the ancient heavenly underworld star, I'll eliminate every single one of them in the 9 heavens immortal realm. I'll break the path of reincarnation for the Naga clan. I'll eliminate every single one of you, and you'll never be reincarnated. June Xiaoyao flung his sleeves. His cold words swept across the place like a gust of cold wind. Everyone was stunned. June Xiaoyao's words were absolutely imperious. He was going to wipe out the entire clan and sever their bloodline. Even the path of reincarnation was going to collapse. If someone else were to say it, it would sound like they were bragging. However, if June Xiaoyao was the one who said it, everyone would not think it was a big deal. The reason being that the June clan did have the strength to do so. Besides, the June clan was famous for being protective of their own. If June Xiaoyao were to die because of such a scheme, the Naga clan would not stand a chance against the wrath of the June clan. This was the greatest deterrence brought about by a powerful background. Chapter 631. June Xiaoyao was not the kind of idiot who would not make use of his background. Under the circumstances, it was not a big deal to use the June clan's name. Besides, June Xiaoyao had another plan in mind. Everything was under his control. So what if she was Queen Medusa? She was just a pretty toy in his eyes. Any supreme elder of the Emperor clan could easily kill Queen Medusa 10,000 times over. It was quite ridiculous for someone of her level to act like a queen in front of him. You! Queen Medusa's hair drifted wildly as her terrifying aura of a sacred ruler burst out, stirring the heavens and earth. As the boundless pressure came crashing down, some of the sky prides were directly pressed to the ground, their bones shattering. The aura of a sacred ruler was absolutely terrifying. June Xiaoyao remained standing calmly, ignoring the pressure as if it were nothing. Queen Medusa's eyes glittered. Even she could not see through the young man in front of her. Queen Medusa did not like the feeling. She raised her fair and tender hand, intending to strike June Xiaoyao and kill him once and for all. The aura of a sacred ruler went without saying. It felt like the sky was about to collapse as she slammed her hand down. Meanwhile, an elder of the Naga tribe who was in charge of gathering information blurted out in a panic, "Your Majesty, you can't." "What is it?" Queen Medusa frowned. She really had the urge to slap the disrespectful kid to death. "Your Majesty, you can't kill him. If you do, the Naga tribe will be wiped out." The elder of the Naga tribe, who was in charge of gathering information, had heard a lot of news. It included the news about June Xiaoyao. Following that, This elder informed Queen Medusa of some of the information that he had obtained. After hearing this, even Queen Medusa, who had a cold and domineering personality, revealed a surprised expression. The legendary son of God of the June clan of the Desolation era. The strongest cultivator among the younger generation. He had founded the Emperor clan, an immortal faction. Any supreme elder of the Emperor clan could easily wipe out the Naga tribe 1,000 times over. He even fought against the heavens, shocking the entire 9 heavens immortal realm. Every single one of these events could be considered legendary. Queen Medusa did not expect that all of this was done by this young man in his 20s. Even she was shocked by the scene before her. If such a peerless figure died on the heavenly underworld ancient star, even with the concealment of the array, the June family was still capable of calculating the cause and effect. At that time, even if the Naga tribe obtained the opportunity in the Temple of Doom, they would still be able to transform. However, it was still impossible to withstand the wrath of the June family. June Xiaoyao was really an untouchable hedgehog. Thinking of this, Queen Medusa's gaze changed. "Why aren't you attacking?" June Xiaoyao smiled casually. He finally understood why the villains in those novels liked to use their power to oppress others. Because it was really quite satisfying. After thinking for a while, Queen Medusa stared coldly at June Xiaoyao and said, "You can live, but you have to wait until my race's plan is completed before I can let you go." Queen Medusa took a step back. She could not bear the price of killing June Xiaoyao. However, she could not let June Xiaoyao go now, because she was afraid that he would report to the enforcers of the human race. "But what if I want to enter the Temple of Doom?" June Xiaoyao smiled faintly. "Don't push your luck." Queen Medusa raised her eyebrows. She had already taken a step back, but June Xiaoyao still wanted to enter the Temple of Doom. This was simply taking advantage of the situation for granted. "How about this? How about we make a bet?" June Xiaoyao continued to suggest. "What bet?" Queen Medusa frowned and asked. She did not dare to underestimate June Xiaoyao anymore. Who knew what he was up to? June Xiaoyao stretched out 3 fingers and said, 3 moves. "If this son of God can take 3 moves from you, you will let me enter the Temple of Doom." As soon as he said this, the whole place fell silent. Even Queen Medusa's charming face showed a hint of astonishment. "Do you know what you are saying?" Queen Medusa couldn't help but ask. She was a Holy Lord-level powerhouse. June Xiaoyao was only at the Sage Great Perfection. In the Sage realm, the difference of one realm was like the difference between heaven and earth. Not to mention the difference of 3 realms between June Xiaoyao and her. This was no longer a gap that could be made up with any method. It was simply a complete defeat without any suspense. Queen Medusa even thought that June Xiaoyao was deliberately trying to trick her and drag the entire Naga tribe down with him. On the other side, Mo Jinyu, Xing Hongyi, and the others could not help but sneer. It was because in their eyes, June Xiaoyao's behavior was no different from courting death. Challenging a sage king might be possible. Even if he faced a great sage, he might barely have a chance to escape. But facing a holy lord, there was absolutely no suspense. What is he trying to do? Brahma of the Western sect was also thinking. "Lord Son of God, please don't do this." "Yes, Son of God, please reconsider." Many of the surrounding geniuses also changed their expressions and tried their best to dissuade him. They were not thinking about June Xiaoyao's safety. But if June Xiaoyao died, they would die without a doubt. Although the expressions of Fairy Yuan, Yen Rumring, and the others changed slightly, they did not say anything. They had witnessed June Xiaoyao killing a half-step great sage under the starry sky with their own eyes. As far as they were concerned, June Xiaoyao was an eternal god. He definitely had his own confidence in doing things and would not act recklessly. "What, you don't dare to attack a sage?" June Xiaoyao said indifferently. "You are setting a trap for me. If anything happens to you, the entire Naga tribe will be buried with you." Queen Medusa was a little cautious. Then how about this, one more? If she can take 3 moves from you, how about warming the bed for this son of God? Jun Xiaoyao still said with a faint smile. Everyone was stunned. When the geniuses heard this, they were also stunned, and their expressions were stupefied. They were just flattering Jun Xiaoyao, but he actually dared to say that. Presumptuous! All the Naga tribe were angry, and their eyes were burning with anger. Queen Medusa was an existence that could not be blasphemed in their hearts. But Jun Xiaoyao actually wanted to treat their queen as a bed-warming maid. How could they tolerate this? Your Majesty, let me kill this kid. Lightning Snake General's eyes flashed with cold electricity. Even he did not dare to have any delusions about Queen Medusa, but this human kid was so blasphemous. Queen Medusa waved her hand and looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a cold gaze. Are you deliberately provoking me to attack? When Jun Xiaoyao heard this, he did not comment. That was indeed what he was thinking, but on the surface, he said, I am serious. Oh, but I seem to have forgotten that snakes are cold-blooded animals. They can't warm the bed. It seems that you are not even qualified to be my bed-warming maid. When everyone heard this, they were stunned. One of the geniuses was even more stunned. I heard that the son of God of the Jun family has a mouth as sharp as a knife. It is enough to infuriate a Buddha. I didn't believe it before, but I do now. Only Jun Xiaoyao dared to tease and ridicule Queen Medusa like this. Queen Medusa's face was as cold as ice, and she stretched out a white and slender finger. There is no need for 3 moves. 1 will do. After saying that, Queen Medusa pointed at Jun Xiaoyao. She wanted to teach him a lesson,